Hello. Hello, friends. There's that. Hi, Ashland. Hi, Amy. Hi, Cole. Hi, Jasmine. Hi, friends. I'm doing alright. I have doggo. Same thing. Sitting next. Quite chilly here today. It says it's only 10, degrees, but it feels, uh, I think it feels colder than that, but, oh yeah, I'm not surprised about that, Ashland, at all. Um, oh, chilly. Yeah, they're talking about Minneapolis. Or she's talking about Minneapolis. Thanks for the heart me and the rose, Amy. Thanks. Yeah, this one looks a lot worse in terms of the optics. It I can't see how this is self defense in any form. At the very best, it just looks like a fucking horrid accident. If it was an accident, it almost just seems intentional though. During that, I spared 7 cents. Have it. Thanks. No, don't buy more. No, no, bad, bad. Psst, psst, psst. Dude was literally getting beat though. Like, like I don't understand what they're gonna do about that. Hey Nova, welcome. Everybody holding up fine with the cold weather? It also just oh, what happened? There is, yeah, another pew pew ice against what appears to be somebody in a even less reasonable situation, and there's protest happening right now. Um, then let's see, what is the yeah, in -9 degrees temperature, they're freaking protesting. Minnesotas are just built different against the ice, I guess. It is quite funny that it is Minnesota, who are like known for being very cold, be the ones to stand up to ice. Yeah, exactly, both kinds of ice. But yeah, my voice has an echo. Let me check my audio settings. Oh, okay, never mind. Yeah, I was about to say sometimes you can open up two different streaming apps and they'll have it will echo. Hi, Summer. Yeah, it's quite chilly here though, so you know, buddy. Amy and Amy sitting in a tree. Kissing. No, I'm kidding. Oh no, it's Chavo. It's what's his name? Our favorite. Yeah, no, that's what I was it's Lucho. Probably not, yeah. Can I am I able to actually add a note to them? Do do do. Why am I not able to see their account? You can see, okay, perfect. No, I don't concede. I just don't want to talk to you because you're crazy. And you just drop slurs and stuff. If hello, Mr. Iconic. How you doing today? I'm doing alright. Hold up. Let me do let's see. That's disconnected. I'll have to change that to fix that in a second. Hi, anti-liberal. Could I get your agent pronouns, please?
30. I guess you could call me like my lord or your highness if you insist on pronouns.
I don't think those are pronouns. Um,
Are you serious?
I mean they're not typically used
Define
pronouns.
pronouns, sir.
Yeah, it's
Define
used in
pronouns,
the. I
sir.
guess they are pronouns. That they're used in place of a
Okay, cool.
noun. But they're just not typically used.
Okay, perfect. Yeah, I mean, I don't typically call men women either, so.
I mean, I don't either. So I don't know what you're thinking.
Well, a transgender woman is a man in disguise as a woman.
Wait, why are you saying that men can be women? That's a completely ludicrous idea.
I agree.
Yeah, so why are you saying that? That I think that.
You think that men can or cannot be women?
I don't hold that men can be women. This is different than what males and females are. Females
So you're
can be
speaking in
females can be men and males can be women, but men can't be women. It would be I would say that it's going to be outside of both if you're going to say that or like the idea of men within our
so you're
society
saying that
exists outside the category of women. They're kind of mutually exclusive. at least within our
Yeah, no,
society.
they're not. They're not separated. Gender and sex are the same thing. John Money invented the ideology of gender. He also did terrible experiments to a young
Yeah,
child. So if
what
you
was
agree, hold on. So if you agree with the ideology of gender, then you would also agree with the ideology of its founder, and which was a torturer of children. So let me ask you, sir, do you agree with the John Money experiment?
no, but do you know actually what John Money's hypothesis was?
Again, do you agree with the John Money
Well, I think that
experiment?
this is a little bit more nuanced. Like, I agree with what John Money did was horrific. He shouldn't have done that. Um, but here's the thing. I don't agree with his hypothesis either.
No, nobody does. Gender and sex are the same thing. You
So
are
just
assigned your correct
Yeah,
so just
what
hold
sex
on.
at
What is the
birth.
John Money experiment then, anti-liberal?
The John Money experiment was where he tried to essentially change a child's sex. That child was grown up to believe that he was a female, and then somebody told that child later on in life that they were indeed not born a female, and the child said, "Oh, that's crazy because I always knew I was a boy."
It's almost like trying to make a cisgender individual into a trans individual isn't how it works.
The difference is one has now undergone substantial psychiatric care and support, and then the other ones are continued to be lied to. For instance, have you ever heard of a term called clinical lycanthropy?
political
Psycho
lycanthropy?
lycanthropy.
It's the ideology where somebody believes that they can have or will transform into things such as a werewolf. They even do things such as sharpen their teeth or grow their fingernails out and sharpen them to appear more
Interesting.
wolf-like.
Okay.
Now, that is the same ideology
So
of a man who gets breast implants to appear more woman-like.
so anti-liberal. You made a claim earlier that transgender women are men. Do you have
Don't
some sort
don't
of
don't
supporting?
bypass my point.
Do you have,
Don't bypass my point, sir. Respond to what I just
ma'am?
said.
I'm
Sir,
a ma'am.
you're a
You can
sir.
address me as such.
Okay, so also I'm just gonna be very blunt with you. You can call them ma'am, or I'm just gonna disconnect you because that's gonna be against their top terms of service. It is against their terms of service and the community guidelines to misgender individuals purposefully.
I'm not misgendering anybody purposely. Other than
Yeah,
that, he is misgendering himself purposely,
No,
sir.
so hold on. So anti-liberal, you said that transgender women are men. I'm going back to your original point. So do you have some sort of supporting evidence from a medical or scientific institution that agrees with you?
Absolutely. What woman on earth carries a prostate?
Runner. I'm asking for a medical or scientific
Any
institution.
single
Runner.
woman. Name one
Runner.
single woman.
No.
Name one
Stop.
single woman that carries a
Stop.
prostate.
Stop.
You can't. Now, how many
Stop.
transgender women have prostates? All of them.
So
Point proven, sir.
hold his feet to the fire here. So no, you made a positive medical claim. So please provide a medical or scientific institution as well as their supporting evidence.
I mean, to be honest with you, I'm 100% confident that you probably
You're
believe
100%
that
confident. Okay, then
women
please
have
provide
prostates as
evidence
well.
for. So anti-liberal, do you concede that you don't have evidence?
No. Are you stupid? I just told you. I just
Interesting. You
gave you
call me the
evidence, sir.
stupid one, but you don't know
Sir,
how
I
burden
just
of
gave
proof
you
works.
evidence. You're the one
And
trying to dispute that men don't have prostates, sir.
hey
so
Summer, if you
anti-liberal,
want them gone at any point, I'll just let me know.
I'll give
Of
him one
course,
last
he
chance
he
because
loves
I
to, he
look for
loves to run
typically
from
.edu
arguments
or
that he can't
because
make.
I typically look for .edu or .gov sources, and when it comes down to it, please provide supporting evidence for the claim that transgender women are men.
Okay, sure. So would you like me to find a claim in which that shows that all transgender women have a prostate, in which would
Runner,
directly link
take the
them to a man?
elevated.
Yeah, you're a fucking dude. You have a prostate, bro. You're a man. Can you carry a baby?
Runner,
Nope. You sure
Yeah,
can't.
so
That's
you made
crazy, man.
runner.
hold
Hey,
on, but
so
you did
let
make
me
a
ask you a
claim.
question, Summer. Let me ask you a question, Summer. If you were having a medical
No, you don't get
emergency,
to
hold
run
on,
from the
shut the fuck up
claim.
for a second.
No, you
No,
don't get to run
If
you.
from
you're
the
having a
claim.
medical emergency, if you're
Yeah.
having a medical emergency and the EMS
Runner,
shows up, and
runner.
then you tell
No.
Why
and
can't you
you
answer
tell
a
the
basic
So transgender
question,
shut
people's
up.
identities.
anti-liberal?
So hold on.
I already fucking did. He
So
just
hold
No, you
didn't
on.
like
didn't.
the
So
answer.
transgender people's identities are supported by, including but not limited to, the American Psychological Association, the American Association of Pediatrics, Harvard Medical School, Yale School of Medicine, Canadian Institute of Health Research, Cleveland Clinic, Mayo Clinic, University of Utah School of Pharmacy, World Health Organization. Do I need to continue?
Just let me know when it's my turn to respond. How about that?
So do you have anything like that that agrees with you?
I sure do. How about the International Journal of Medicine and Public Health, in which describes clinical lycanthropy and gender dysphoria as essentially the same diagnosis, in which previous to the 2013
Provide your
change in the
source.
DSM, hold on, I just did, sir, and then previous to the
All right, you can
2013
get rid of him.
change. And yeah, because he
Runner.
fucking just got cooked.
Cooked how? You cannot
Cooked
provide
your
any
bitch
evidence for your
ass, dude.
claims.
Okay. Oh, thanks, Cole. Oh my. Only bringing the strongest rhetorical titans today who don't dodge questions any day of the week.
I'll take that W.
Yeah.
I just came up for the claim that gender dysphoria is similar to what did they describe?
Clinical lycanthropy. So he thinks
Ye-
that being transgender and people
No,
thinking that
he
they're
didn't say
werewolves are the
similar.
same.
he said they're the same. Yeah, they're that the other one's not even in the DSM-5.
Literally.
Like, what is he? I was like very confused. I came up to be like, excuse-moi, no. Like, what are we saying here? Yeah. By the way,
Anti-liberal cosplays is an intellectual.
there are individuals with XX chromosomes that do have prostates like that. That does occur in some rare cases. Just FYI.
This is really bad for you, anti-liberal. It's considered a form of delusional misidentification syndrome, which is linked to other types of like what we would actually call like a delusionary disorder, such as schizophrenia or dementia.
By the way, DSM stands for Diagnostic and Statistical Manual. I have a degree in psychology, Chavo, and I literally have it right next to me. I can turn my camera on and show you my DSM-5. So if you're trying to like discredit me, you're doing a very fucking bad job.
Why does Lucho not know what the DSM stands for?
I don't know.
Mickey loads in. Hey Mickey, can I get your age and pronouns, please?
Yeah, I'm 23. We've spoken before.
Okay. I assume she, her pronouns?
She, her.
Okay, thanks.
Okay, I wanted.
Yeah, go ahead.
Go on. Sorry. No, I just wanted to touch on the prostate thing that trans men do have like prostate cells develop in the vagina, but then it is carcinogenic for them. Well, there's a strong likelihood that it's carcinogenic.
Is it like more?
Well, I understand what liberal was saying.
Is it more likely than what like we would just consider like standard prostates? Because like prostate cancer is pretty common still within men. Like just typical males.
I'm not actually sure of like the implications of that. I'd suppose because it's the vagina is not homologous to the prostate. I suppose it carry a higher likelihood, to be fair.
Yeah, it would be interesting just to see if it is something that's like, because like I could totally see how like when a male goes on estrogen and grows breasts, if they would have like essentially the same likelihoods of developing breast cancer later in life, like that would make complete sense.
Yes, that is actually what happens.
Yeah, so like I wouldn't be surprised if there was the same with prostates. Like that would make complete sense actually.
So, like, yeah, no, I'd never heard the term. To be fair, I thought it was more so a subcategory of like body integrity disorder rather than what did he say? Clinical lycanthropy.
Lycanthropy. So the whole thing with clinical lycanthropy is it's not even in the DSM. And he's trying to use this international journal to try to make them similar in somehow when there's actually no evidence to support this.
Would you not say it's more so than a subcategory of body integrity? If you feel like, because these people still identify, say, as being like unable, I don't know if I can say like disabled, they identify as like paraplegics and such, but but then they have the open desire to like change like parts of their body.
That is not something that I'm well versed in. And Lucho, what you're experiencing right now is known as the Dunning-Kruger effect. Knock it off.
Are you saying like just all disorders in which an individual tries to change their body are similar? Because that's like just definitionally true. That's analytically true. Like
Yeah, so I'm saying, would you say it's like more so a subcategory of body integrity rather
No.
than
so it like we don't classify disorders in this way for a very specific reason because like if we just put like with like, then I mean realistically that doesn't actually get us down to like the basis of the disorder, right? Like I don't know why that would be an important question to even ask.
because he's correlating it with that word. I can't say that word, and I'm saying that I thought it would have been a subcategory.
Yeah, but
because of the changes build clarity and satisfaction.
a lot of the times the classifications aren't based on behaviors that people are doing. They're more based on like clinical aspects like how do I say it? Like brain regions or like personality disorders are all classified. There's A, B, and C. Like we don't classify them based on like the types of behaviors that are in type A, type B, type C. Like that would be obscene to do. The classification is based on like subclinical aspects like brain functioning or I'm trying to think of like how the diagnosis stands, but like so like neurodivergency is a good example of this where ADHD in autism are kind of put in a similar group, and then you have learning disorders that are put in a group, but you don't put in just like disorders with like, because I think that would be like dishonest.
So it's just right. Okay, so you're saying like they're not. There's no correlation between them. On like what basis that they're not like clustered together.
Not there might be, but definitely not on the basis that you just want to change your body.
So how? Well, can you not like?
Because then you would put you would like you would classify then like anorexia nervosa in like a group order that would be like similar to that, and that would be odd to place alongside. Like they're clinically insignificantly different from each other.
But what I'd say that still remains is the point that they think that changing their body in this way, even though it's probably like detrimental, they identify with like certain aspects.
Yeah, so, sure, like, but in that way, some of the aspects of ADHD are also comparable to anxiety because there are certain aspects, or maybe closer to OCD or OCPD, because of obsession-like behavior, but we don't classify those as the same way just because they share similarities. Like there are a lot of behaviors that are similar and a lot of different disorders, but off of that basis alone, we don't classify them in the same group. And maybe they are, but just off of this basis alone, I think that would be an absurd claim.
Yeah, but
I mean, I get it.
Oh, sorry.
Sorry, go ahead.
When it comes to doing it from a clinical aspect, you're not looking for just, I mean, you said this already, I'm just stating it in a way that might help a little more, is that when you're looking for the reason why these things affect people, just seeing the actions isn't going to tell you everything that you need to know.
I don't think that like provided like any clarity for me, unfortunately. I'm saying like the baseline of it's still like see I know you're like looking at the clinical aspect, but I'd say like there's parallels to anorexia, gender identity disorder, body integrity disorder. Like they're all categorized as disorders, right? But I'm saying that the basis of them is
then if your basis is that just calling them a disorder, then that's like every other disorder. But like I don't understand what you're trying to say. When we classify neurodevelopmental disorders, right? And then we have schizophrenia and spectrum and other psychotic disorders. We have bipolar and related disorders, depressive disorders, anxiety disorders, obsessive compulsive and related disorders, trauma and stress related disorders, dissociative disorders, somatic symptoms, feeding and eating disorders, which is actually where anorexia nervosa is placed. It's not placed anywhere near where is it? Yeah, it's not. Anorexia is like closer to pica, avoidant restrictive food intake disorder, bulimia nervosa, binge eating disorder. It's not placed in gender dysphoria, has its own category of its own. I just don't see the basis of why you would consider them in like similar categories. Their treatments are very different. They're as far as I'm aware, because I don't know anything about the other one, because this one's not in the DSM-5, right? It sounds like it would be placed under a psychotic spectrum disorder rather than any sort of gender dysphoria disorder, because it sounds more like a delusion-based disorder rather than an understandable aspect of like a gender spectrum related aspect, if that makes sense.
You talking about body integrity?
Yeah, I'm saying that like I'm using the Diagnostic and Statistical Manual of Mental Disorder, DSM-5, to tell you like these are the kind of classes. This is what they're putting them in. And sure, you could reorganize it. I just don't think that saying just because someone wants to change their body, it means that like the aspect of like the way that treatment would go, the way that the brain is operating under this, the way that you would use, I guess this would be part of family, like friends and family, either supporting or trying to work with it. Like everything about this disorder seems to be very different, because to want to be a non like existing thing is not the same as gender dysphoria in the slightest. Like
what do you mean by non-existing thing? I'm saying that they want to amputate limbs because their internal and innate sense of self is disabled, and they have a strong desire for that.
Are you I thought we were talking about the werewolf thing.
No, I wasn't on about I can't
Like
say that word.
clinical,
I was
like
about body integrity. Yeah. I literally can't say it.
It's not an easy word.
No, not at all. I'd never heard of it prior to when Liberal had said it. So no, I'm saying like do not strike correlations with body integrity, because they have the innate sense of self of being disabled, even though the body's not disabled per se. They have the strong desire to be perceived as disabled and like reduce function. So they'll like paralyze themselves, they'll amputate limbs, and it is like it's not episodic, it's consistent and persistent also. So I'm just saying, like, do we not strike a correlation?
I thought you were talking about something else entirely.
No, I think that's where we was like getting a bit confused.
Yeah, that was the disconnect here. With that, I don't know. I honestly do not know. I don't think so though. Just because some individual who has a persistent, consistent self-identity with someone who or as a disabled individual, I think we would need a better basis to say that like just because someone wants to change their body, it automatically puts them in the same group. I would still make a similar argument. I would just have to know some of the like the treatment, the brain chemistry, like the how and why this disorder is classified in as that, because those are more of the basis of how classifications are made, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah.
is it a distress-based disorder? Is like what are some of the like characteristics those would all be questions that I would have, because I don't think just because things are similar that we put them into groups as far as clinical aspects. I think that would be absurd.
I would say it's a distress-based disorder. I'd also say that gender identity can be a stress-based disorder if you're going off by
It entirely is a distress-based disorder according to the DSM.
yeah. Well, yeah, like dysphoria. If we're using that literally means stress or like intense distress. So these people still get body dysphoria, but it's more surrounded by like one aspect of themselves rather than like a multitude. They still want to be perceived as disabled. They perceive themselves as disabled. They want the removal of limbs because their innate sense of self like aligns with being disabled. We had I think quite recently, I do believe, or it was highlighted quite recently. We had a doctor here in the UK. I think his name's something Hopper. He was a surgeon as well. He amputated both his legs on the basis that he wanted to be disabled. Also, you could like incorporate maybe perhaps like a fetishistic aspect to it.
I think obsession based would probably be better terminology. Fetish is generally a sexualized term.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, but we're saying like he may have had this. He was, is it an amputinophiliac? Like that's speculated, but there's not like conclusive.
Well, the problem that I have with this is that trans individuals are born as trans individuals. So they may be born with this like desire, but like no one's like, I mean, genes are born like necessarily as like one type of amputee, right? Like there are several classifications. So I would have some like questions regarding like how do we like compare some of the biopsychology to like have things and because this is ultimately the direction that psychology is going. It's including more biology. Some of the classes are like they're not just doing the old school way. They're trying to have a bio underpinning for like diagnoses. So
I thought the bio was improved. Sorry. I didn't think the bio there was like a biological foundation for gender identity disorder. I don't think there was.
There's evidence,
but there's not like conclusive, because if you're on about like the brains, there's no like objective male or female brain.
No, I'm not talking about male or female brain.
What then? Sorry, I think I jumped a bit like too far.
Yeah, there's different there's correlations between like axon how axons are connected. There's correlations between like the BSTT. There's tons of loosely based evidence, and sometimes that's all we get in psychology, right? Like that's kind of like we can't pin anything down to certainty as much. Like, and it's also like under research, but there is enough evidence to say that like, hey, there's leaning towards this side or leaning towards the other side. There are correlations, and the same with sex, right? Where it's a spectrum, but it's bimodal. There are different attributes, and in the whole male and female brain thing, it's not that it's a myth, it's just never communicated properly. There are estrogen receptors that are typically found in higher abundance in a female brain than that of a male brain. There are differences between the two. It's just that there's not a difference to the case that they never overlap. So they take the same model of bimodal separation, right?
I wouldn't say sex is bimodal, because I'd say that there's nothing that you can quantify apart from like on the y-axis. It would just be hormones that are mutable. So I wouldn't say like sex is strictly bimodal. But also, touching upon what you said, the BNST is not sexually dimorphic until after puberty is induced. and then I'd argue like the functionality.
The BSTC?
I thought you said the bed of the. Is it
bed nucleus of the striatum terminalis, the BSTC?
Yeah, I thought that was I thought that was like sexually dimorphic till after.
It's a gender. It's not sexual. It's gender. It's gender based.
Yeah, but I'm saying it's sexually. Is it not sexually dimorphic?
I mean, yeah, but like it's also gender based because, as we've seen in trans individuals, that it's not just sex based. It doesn't fit this one size fits all category. You see typicalities, but there are individuals who fit outside of that enough to say that like we can argue that hey, trans individuals don't always fit neatly, but typically present on the other side. And
okay, I mean, like so, but I mean, I'd argue the functionality of that is it's like dependent on like the endocrine system though. So it'd be like
it's not in trans individuals.
But the endocrine system controls hormonal profile.
Okay, but hormonal profiles aren't an end all be all because now you're only relying with typicalities. And that's the problem, is that trans individuals don't fit within typicalities. And that's why when you say it's not bimodal, it's strange to hear. Like, there are overlaps.
Yeah, but there's no like point where like someone can be both. Obviously, we've had like tissues, and such, but then
and androgynous individuals.
Yeah, but like, what are you putting on the y-axis then? Because I'd say that if it was.
Do you know what bimodal means as far as sex differences?
Yeah. So are you using like the cluster concept to put like on the y-axis? Because I'd just say like nothing's really measurable other than like hormonal profile.
There's nothing measurable besides hormonal. So there's no other separation between hormones and sex?
Yeah, there's nothing mutable. You either like have it or you don't.
You could measure the height of individuals, the weight,
Yeah, there's tons of aspects. Like in even hormonal aspects aren't all or nothing. Like you can have like some women have elevated testosterone. Like I don't know what you mean by this.
Like what are you saying? Like when you say sex is bimodal, what are you like inferring?
Yeah, so there's male and then there's female, and those have like, you know what the bell curve looks like?
Yeah, I know. Yeah.
Okay, and then when those two humps overlap, the one in the middle of this, actually, Stotsky, could you pull up a picture of a bimodal distribution for sex differences? Because it's like quite obvious when you look at it from a visual data perspective. Yeah, I mean, yep. Yep, there we go. So what you would be saying is that it's binary, there's no overlap, but that's like not true, right? Because there's that middle part where the atypical exist, where there's some crossover between males that have the lower end of the spectrum of like female aspects, and then there's females on the other end. That's where that purple shaded is. Like it doesn't just cut off, like.
But I'd still say it's binary because they're still classified as male and female.
How is that? Okay, classification is not what I'm looking for. I'm talking about the spectrum that exists. Like there's overlap. Like that's very, very clear.
Yeah, but there's not a complete overlap. So then I'd say it's still binary. And then I'd say that even like say you have like there's the 5 like sex characteristics. I'd say that we still so like individuals.
So just fuck intersex people, I guess. Then they don't exist.
No, I'm not saying that at all. I'm saying
well,
that, like,
if it's just binary, then intersex people don't exist.
I'm not saying that at all.
But you are.
Saying, like,
you don't mean to say that, but you're saying that.
Yeah, that's what happens when you say that there is no in between. This is necessarily what follows.
Yeah, I am saying there's no in between because I'm saying they're still male or female.
Okay, so on what basis? Chromosomes? No, genitalia? Like which one?
Well, that's a primary indicator.
We can all agree that you can arbitrarily draw a line somewhere and say this is where we draw this line, but that doesn't mean that this line means anything.
Yeah.
Other than it just being
there's no in between because they're either male or female.
Yeah, because you're arbitrarily drawing a line. Why are you arbitrarily drawing a line when we don't have data? It's just like it's not like we clearly exist where there's 2 humps and there's no in between. There clearly is this in between.
Yeah, but
Um,
there's
I'll
no,
use
there's no.
here. I'll give this better to you. If you're familiar with biology at all, you would know that speciation is actually kind of absurd. And in fact, under like biologists, while they know that there is such a thing as speciation, they also understand that it's kind of a bullshit thing. It doesn't actually exist. They even acknowledge that humans are the ones that take an arbitrary line and set the rules on which is on which side, right? The same thing happens with sex. And the fact is it's much more of a spectrum than you're giving it credit for. If it was binary, there would be this clear-cut, no overlapping line, and intersex people wouldn't exist. But the fact is that we don't set the rules. We just decide where the lines are drawn. And the reality of the fact is that people fit in all sorts of categories. And thank goodness, right? Because like diversity is like a huge aspect of how we evolutionarily likely survive, because diversity is a beautiful thing. It helps us in times of really trouble, like harshities. But like you think it like being able to put someone in a bimodal spectrum means that just because we just say there are two categories, but that's just not true. There are multiple categories of how genes, brain, hormone receptors, like you can have all the hormones in the body that you want, but if you don't have the receptors for them, you're going to appear outwardly different. So that is why it exists on a spectrum. There are two humps that are typicalities that you have the norm in. And then you have the right and the left of each, and according to the center line, there are overlaps. That doesn't seem very binary to me.
Okay, but what I'm saying is, what is sex?
What is sex itself?
Yeah, like what is sex? Not like intimate sex. Like what is sex?
Yeah. I mean, do you want like a loose definition or like a very square one? Because I can look up like a biology definition for you. But like
I mean,
in biology, like there's like no rules in biology, like per se. Like there's always exception to rules, but generally we classify them as like characteristics that establish differences between male and female. Like I don't disregard that that's probably what the definition would say. But like when it comes down to it, our understanding of this is changing drastically. Like until you get karyotyped, you don't even know what chromosomes you have, and like data is pointing to the fact that it may be more common than not that your karyotype doesn't exactly fit perfectly into this idea that we once had 20, 30 years ago of what it meant to be male or female.
yeah, but I wouldn't say chromosomes define sex. I feel like the karyotypes kind of.
That's one aspect. You're forest and treesing me here.
Okay, so like what I'm saying is like, so people with like complete androgen insensitivity syndrome, they have like male chromosomes. They have like most of the Wolffian pathway. And then the secondary is kind of arbitrary because it's an indirect. It's the indirect like result of the reproductive pathway, and they can still sometimes produce small gametes, but then they're still categorized as female due to the primary denotation. To be impregnate.
And
So
that's
like
just
what?
because we've only given them two places to fit into, but they actually fit in intersex, and we've just decided as a society how to put them into each group, but that's not really what's happening, right? Like this is just how we're choosing to describe it, because it's like biology is descriptive, not prescriptive.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is like sex is on the basis of like how we reproduce, and like the primaries to that.
Yep. It can be because
Yeah, and I'm saying
sometimes
you're either
some
male
some
or female.
or you're intersex, and I let intersex individuals have a say in like that, because I don't think it's fair to just be like, this one's got a dick. So like these are like, that's fine if you need this in order to like fit everything into a perfect neat box and for your worldview. I don't think that that's the way reality exists,
Well, I
because
just don't think we can quantify whether someone's like mostly man or mostly like mostly male or mostly female. I feel like you either
I
are or
don't
not.
either. That's why I think it's a bimodal substance. That
Yeah, but
there are in
it's not
betweens.
categorized as such.
Yeah, but you're saying they're either male or not.
They're either male or female.
Yeah, which would be male or
No,
not.
that's not true.
That's just not how it works, though.
So, like, an
So,
example
like,
of,
is
like,
there-
a true binary species would be, like, anglerfish, if I recall right. Like, if you look at the female anglerfish versus the males, that's a binary. There's no in between. This is very much like I don't think they've ever seen anything that looks anywhere near in between them. It's either you're a large anglerfish, which is used reproduces, or you're basically just a set of gonads that swim around. That's like literally what male anglerfish are. Like this is
Yeah, but
this
you're
is
going off by like dimorphism. Like we understand that like some people look less like some women aren't as dimorphic as males, and there's like
Okay, so
attributes, but I'm saying
here,
that doesn't define what sex they are.
yeah, okay. So what defines sex to you? Let me write it down.
The way in which like an individual primary like reproductive function.
Yeah, but that has a spectrum, and you know that.
I wouldn't say there is.
So at what arbitrary line do you draw that cutoff between male and female?
Like on the basis that you are or you aren't.
Yeah, that one.
Where
is that?
I wouldn't say there's like no middle. You can have aspects of the other sex or what's like predominantly seen in the other sex, but that's still like
you just again just F people with intersex conditions. Like that's what you're saying.
I'm not saying that. I'm saying they're either categorized as male or female.
Well, I'm asking you for the justification for your cutoff.
And that'd be like the primary reproductive function of the individual.
It is individuals. So individual.
Denote to.
What they mostly denote to.
Yeah.
So why is that denoting part the driver for you? Like what?
Because that's what sex is based around. Is because we're like anisogamists. We base our sex on the fact that we have small and large gametes.
So how do you? No. Like I don't think you understand what I'm asking you. When is it the penis? Is it the gamete size? What if they don't have any of those? Like you don't allow for any exception within this rule.
Yeah, because I don't think there's an amalgamation of both that makes someone like half male, half female, like or like you're to some degree
so when
female
you
and some
so
degree
when
male.
when there is uninevitably overlap, what do you do with those characterizations? Because both males and females have testosterone. Both males and females, actually males have some minor parts from development of that of a female. Like how and then there's, like I said, the classification of intersex conditions where they have like virtually equal of both. How do you classify these individuals? Because you said that there's no spectrum here.
Nobody has both.
There are individuals with both parts that some do not.
They don't have both parts equally. That's what I'm saying. So you're either a male or a female on that basis.
So they don't have equally. Oh, okay. So there are individuals that have the characteristics of both. Is that correct?
Yeah, but I'm saying that they're still either male or female.
Yeah, but you just said there was no spectrum that exists.
There is no spectrum. It's still binary because they're either male or they're not.
I don't think you get it.
I do get it. You're saying like intersex people are like male and female, like.
But you said it's what it's denoting to, and I said it can denote to both, and you said, well, now it's just denoting to the one that is most on the side that I like. You literally are describing bimodal. Yes, you are.
No, I'm saying sex is binary because we base it off.
But you just said okay. You've already conceded to the fact that an individual can have aspects that denote to both. But now you're saying, okay, it's the one that denotes the most to the side. You're literally describing a bimodal distribution and not even realizing it.
No, I'd still say it's binary because there's no middle. There's no.
Well, then you're just delusional because I've given you the argument and the evidence, and you've already conceded you're just literally naming it something else. I mean, I don't.
But I'm saying you
I
can't
don't.
quantify
I'm not. I'm not
profitability.
appealing to authority here, but I am going to say that like most people with high-end degrees in this area agree with me. This is the consensus among biologists.
You're saying it's like bimodal, but then if it was bimodal, there'd be like a third sex.
You've already described it as bimodal and agreed to
No,
it,
it's not
so
bimodal.
you just
It's
don't want to. You just don't want to
both
name it
primary
that.
orientated.
No,
Because
because
then
you've
people with,
you've already
complete
you've
antigen-
already said it's the one that it leans onto the most. You've described a bimodal system. I'm very sorry for you, but like that's just what you described.
Okay, can we like bring Crocodile Tears up? Because he's probably better at like arguing this point. But I'm saying like we can't like
Like, you
quantify
see-
anything other than hormonal.
Okay, so there's no you can't quantify it. That's weird because I'm pretty sure you can, as you just did.
No, I didn't.
Denoting to the most is a quantifying aspect. Most is a quantifying term.
Okay, well, denotes like primarily, like the primary.
Primarily is a quantifying amount.
Yeah, it's purely subjective. Like,
You're literally describing a bimodal system. I don't know what else to tell you. I'm very sorry that this wrecks your worldview, but you literally described it that way.
like I could just say that, everybody who doesn't have, XY chromosomes have, a full, development cycle that goes along the, typical male pathway. And everything else like that is just everybody else who doesn't fall this very small category as a female, and this line is drawn completely arbitrarily. And yet I could just say they still denote to being female at that point.
Wait, who denotes to being female?
Everybody who doesn't have XY chromosomes and
No, 'cause
develop
chromosomes
along.
define sex.
Yeah. But what I'm saying is that like this is a line that we've drawn arbitrarily, and the problem is that this line can be arbitrarily drawn anywhere, and that just shows how bimodal it is. That it's not like there's not this clear gap that we can say, hey, this is where we have to draw this line, because there is no wiggle room in this. You're either A or B. There's no in between anywhere near.
Yeah, binary like is like a dichotomy. Like if it's not one, it's the other. But as we've both described, attributes of both are overlapping. And if you can say that one is the most or predominantly or denotes to, then you're describing overlap. That's the problem, is that you're literally describing a bimodal system and then slapping the name binary on it. I can't help that your description doesn't fit your word.
They ran. That's crazy.
You like the descriptor, but not what it's called, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, that's literally what they were doing.
You did a really good job of explaining that, and I'm really, really sorry that it wasn't being listened to. The way that you explained that was really, really well said.
I appreciate it. I'm very passionate about that topic because one is Forrest Valakai. It explains this so well. He's the one that started to make me realize that our cutoffs in our boxes that humans place on things are kind of just us trying to use language to describe the world, but sometimes it's insufficient.
Wait. You're telling me that a science communicator that has a degree in biology is like doing a good job describing biology?
What?
No.
Yeah.
No, but I mean, I love
Fox,
Forrest as well. He's really good.
So
This is one you
I
said?
have several friends in NXP in the line. So I'm like 3 degrees of separation from Forrest. One day I will get a video call, a birthday gift, I don't know, something. I'm trying to get things in the work, a signed autograph, something. I just need Forrest to know I'm his biggest fan. Sorry for my fangirling. Girling.
No, that's awesome. I'm glad that you have a person that you look to, that you Oh, I'm sorry, my brain is not working. That you like listening to talk on the subject. It's really nice.
Do you ever have a dream that you want, that you wish that you
Literally, yeah. You wanted to do so much, you can do anything.
I mean that in the most loving way. No, I get the same. You just brain fog of just like,
Oh,
where
yeah.
what was I going? Fuck.
And I've been
These-
having a horrible fibro flare up, so like my brain fog has been out the wazoo. And then also I got a vaccine yesterday, so it's like, oh, I can't think at all today. Cool.
They injected you with the microchip mind virus, the woke virus.
You know it.
Oh my god, I got that too. When I got the I don't know what to call it. 'Cause
19
I don't know.
shots.
I know what you mean. Yeah.
C19. I got it several times, so I'm so woke, y'all. It's so bad.
My partner works at a nursing home, so I have to make sure that I stay up. Veterans home, so I have to make sure that I stay up on my vaccinations.
I love when somebody says, "Don't take the vaccine and it can give you autism." I'm like, I'm already autistic. So what? They're just like,
Give me some super autism. Literally. No, that always gets me because it's like, would you rather you're very quiet, and not even quietly, but you're saying that you would rather have an unalive child than a freaking kid with autism, even though it doesn't cause it, and we see
Listen.
that it doesn't cause it. My bad.
Oh, sorry. No. I didn't mean to interrupt you. I'm sorry.
No,
I
you're
was
good.
I was waiting for you to be done, and I was gonna say, listen, I went and got my C19 and I took acetaminophen at the same time, y'all.
she
And
does.
look at me now.
Dang.
I can't. I
Gave
forgot
me
how
medical
Trump said
steroids.
acetaminophen.
Oh, I don't even know.
Acetami. Oh, well, that's a word. Acetaminophen. Something like that.
I'm sorry, Tylenol. Tylenol, y'all. I know acetaminophen's big Trump words.
No, I understand what acetaminophen is. I generally say acetaminophen
No,
over
not you.
Tylenol.
Not you. Not
Yeah,
you, Trump.
the normies.
Ibuprofen.
Oh my, that's a big word for Elmo.
Wait, are we calling Trump Elmo now?
No, I was just doing the stimming. Said, ooh, vocal stim. Yoink.
No, I'm not trying to say none of y'all know what acetaminophen is. I was in reference to Trump. I'm sorry. I didn't.
Oh,
mean
for sure.
to.
I don't know what acetaminophen is. Not anymore.
Nah,
It's out my brain.
acetaminophen, that's crazy. It's definitely not paracetamol.
I was about to say, don't you call it paracetamol? And
Yeah. I
Oh.
know what it is. I know what you guys call Tylenol. What just happened, Stone?
Also,
freaking-
what I found really cool is when you asked for the bimodal graph, and Stotsky already had it on hand, ready to go. Like immediately after you asked, Stotsky's like, "Yeah, I got you. Here you go."
Oh
Yeah,
yeah, I'm.
I have that
Oh,
one
sorry.
just going. Why is this not?
I'm retaking statistics because I'm weird and like not in a professional college setting, even though it is taught by like a professor. But I'm retaking statistics course because statistics is fun. Well, statistics are fun. Well, the course is. Statistics are also. Nobody got that joke. Haha. Okay, I'm funny to me.
I'm not paying attention to
You
this
are
conversation,
Just
sort of.
lost. I'm
As
just
a course,
lost, honestly.
So like data versus datum. No, okay. I'm gonna show myself out. Thank you for laughing.
You're welcome.
Hee. Look who it is.
No, but whenever anybody says, "Oh, it's biology is simple," my brain checks out. I'm like, okay, you don't know what you're talking about.
It's so simple because it's just mitochondria
Stupid phone camera.
Is the-
Focus.
powerhouse of the cell.
You know it. Stop listening.
Okay, that's all.
That's it. That's in Bio 101 is that's the only thing you learn, and that's all you need to know, actually.
Yeah, that's Danny. I'm taking care of him till Monday, and then he comes back on Saturday. I get paid like extortion amounts of money to take care of him, and that's great. And he's so simple.
You get paid
yeah,
to
like
hang out with dogs?
$50 a day. That's why I say it's like extortion
Where
money.
do I
Give
sign
me.
up for this job?
Apparently,
Give
it's from
me.
Republicans.
Wait, what is the job? I
I'm
touched my
just
back and dissociated.
Wait, why is this from Republicans?
because they're Republicans, unfortunately.
Oh, you should make their dog woke.
Yeah.
Film videos of making their dog woke.
I'll make their dog trans. No. I'll trans their dog. Danny, you're now a girl, okay? He'd be okay with that, probably. Yeah, we have no opposition, so if anybody wants to request up.
Oh, hey, Dr. Joe. Did I just drop into Schoolhouse Rock magic? I'm just a bill. I'm just a bill on Capitol Hill. Do you know that's on Disney Plus now? I almost watched it the other day.
Wait, is it really on Disney Plus?
It's on Disney Plus, yeah. I saw it the other day. I think it's Disney. Yeah, it's Disney Plus. It's not Netflix. So I don't purchase Disney Plus normally, but I accidentally not accidentally. I really wanted to watch a couple shows, so I bought it for a month. It's fair. I'm watching it with the Palestinian. They approved. Oh, Powerhouse of the Cell.
Okay.
It's Dr. Joe. Yeah, no. We were discussing how an individual thought sex was binary, and it turned into this whole conversation about us making fun of people who thought biology was simple. So I said, that's the only thing you need to know about biology. Open, shut case. No more. It's simple.
I mean, never need to know more, never.
No,
Yeah.
anybody who says that it is easy has very clearly never tried to look into it. Hi, I wanted to look into parasitology for the longest time. And
What is that?
the study of parasites.
Okay, that's what I thought. But you never know. Names can be.
It's a study of meat.
For sure.
No, you should tell
You are a
pro-lifers.
parasite? What type of parasite?
You should tell pro-lifers that you study parasitology. And the fetus is a parasite.
Bow?
Oh, that's really funny.
Meep.
Meep.
Yeah, I don't understand
I
why
speak
their
robot.
opposites sit in my chat all the time. I'm like, why are you not coming up?
Can anyone guess what entomology is?
Studies of
Bug.
The studies of
Bug.
intimacy?
No.
Bug.
No.
Bug. It's bug.
Oh, entomology.
It's
Yeah,
the study of
insects.
Study of insects specifically.
I only accept it's the study of intimacy.
Bug.
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 That's all that needs to be said is bug. I'm just
Bug.
excited for bug.
Just one bug?
Bug.
Just one?
Bug.
Bug. That one gets really confused with etymology very commonly, so I imagine that is why you asked it.
Yeah.
No, I don't
Hooray!
want that. No. Stop it.
Joke's on you, I have a bug bag. I love my bug bag.
Beep.
I'm not here, guys. It's just a box.
Why are you see-through?
Who?
You. Oh,
Now what do you mean?
cucumber see-through now too.
That was an
I'm
easy
a
block.
box.
And that's a mute.
I'm see-through.
Oof.
It's just because I don't want to be seen. But you can have a picture of my cat.
My question is, why did they specifically say 2,992 terabytes?
Why didn't they not say
That's
just
a lot.
almost 3 petabytes? Why did they just not say 3 petabytes?
That would have
That-
actually been kind of funny.
I know,
Like-
why
In a
were they
weird
just saying
way.
2,992 terabytes?
Like, bro, I only have 4 terabytes on my on this computer, and this is the most storage I have on any device.
Who
How many
has that much
computers do you have?
storage?
How
Me.
many computers would you
Oh,
have? Like,
data centers tend to have petabytes. That's really rare though. Like, you have to be storing like, especially like if you deal with raw videos, you can start just chomping up disk space if you want to keep it around for any amount of time.
Raw videos?
Yeah, so like when you're recording raw videos, you're basically saving 60 images a second. Like,
I spend too much time on an adult website. Sorry.
Oh,
Too much time watching Gordon Ramsay. It's raw!
Yeah, that's what I meant.
I mean,
clearly.
Oh, I don't know how to pay attention. I apologize.
How many petabytes of information do you reckon are out there on the internet?
I think it was like 4 exabytes last time I checked.
God damn. Because you have to think it's an ever-growing thing. I wonder how much actually gets added to the internet per day in terms of raw storage.
Oh, never mind. It's 175 zettabytes.
Oh my god. No,
So
but my
that's-
question is like, how much data is actually added to the internet on a daily basis?
A lot.
I'm genuinely curious how much information is uploaded to the internet in terms of like the file sizes a day.
Do you think there's a specific day that just has lower, stuff uploaded?
Christmas.
No, I would say that's higher because Apple Cloud is gonna like sync those photos immediately. People are
Oh
gonna take
yeah,
a
and you're
fuck
gonna
ton
be
of photos. It wouldn't be
True.
leading up to Christmas for sure, because that's gonna have a bunch of stuff like photos and people getting together.
February 30th.
Yeah, sometime in like in
you know-
spring or fall.
Good point, actually.
Oh.
That's a very good point. I
February
forgot about.
29th. There we go.
Yeah, absolutely.
A day that doesn't exist.
Yeah, it took
Yeah.
me a second to be like, what? Oh, my
No,
daydream's not
However,
working.
Leap years having the least uploaded files makes sense. I guess it depends on whether we're doing it accumulatively or if we're doing it like average based.
One of the funniest things I've ever seen was during the last eclipse. People found the Google searches for My Eyes Hurt, and they looked at the geographic region and then overlaid the solar eclipse map. And there's just this fucking line going through the areas where the eclipse went of people complaining about their eyes hurting. It's like, yeah, no shit, don't stare at the sun, you idiots.
Oh my.
It's like, oh no.
So when I was really little, I remember distinctly looking at the sun several times.
I'm gonna fight with it.
And now I wear glasses. Connection.
Yeah, I think I definitely did a few times because I was told not to. But besides that, and I also have glasses.
I used to look at the sun to help me sneeze.
To help you seize? That's absurd.
Sneeze.
Sneeze, and it actually worked.
You're allergic to UV light.
Bright lights actually do help you sneeze, by the way. That is just known.
Hi, friends. I need to say this.
Hello. I have a headache.
Oh no, I'm sorry. I also, as soon as Ashlyn said, I just have distinct memories being a child and looking directly at the sun. I was like, yeah, but my fun thing that happened to my eyes, I have 20/20 vision. It's great. But I have cataracts and I was diagnosed with them at 19. So that's probably the connection for me. Anyways.
I'm glad. I'm glad as children we just put our vision at risk.
Right? So fun.
So
Yeah,
smart.
we're. I used to do a lot of dumb stuff. My parents, let's just say helicopter parenting, non-existent parenting. We used to sneak out and jump off of roofs. Um, yeah.
Any stories, like injury stories or anything from that?
No, oddly enough, I didn't break any bones until I was an adult. My brother, however, was a different case, but I once got him to pew pew himself in the foot with a pellet gun, so that's probably why.
Ow.
Yeah, well, he was
Yikes.
trying to get me to do it, so I just said, "You do it first, I'll do it," and then he did it, and I walked away. Um,
As you should.
I didn't it, gullible. Um, it's okay. I can make fun of him. He's no longer alive. Um, sorry, that was a dark joke. I'm sorry.
Damn. You know, you don't need to rub salt on his dead body.
You know, that's true. He was cremated.
Damn, maybe he is the soul.
Yeah, he's the salt. It's been 10 years. He's cool. He's cool. All right, I'm so sorry for the dark humor, y'all. I probably should have withheld from that one. I don't have a filter. I am sorry.
It's fine.
Oh, we have a request. I was looking away for a second. Request. What is it?
Yippee.
Oh, it's it's asteroid. We'll
Aw.
just fill the panel with
Well,
people.
no, I didn't mean that as in a bad art. I meant that as in art. It's not opposition.
Yeah, I know.
I realized how
just
bad
wanted
that
to
sounded
share a
when you
story,
said who
very
it
Canadian
was.
story. When I was a kid, my friends and I would jump off the roof of my garage into snowbanks, which was like 15 feet. That was like how we had fun. Fucking stupid kids.
Oh yeah, ours was a lake. Well, and then when I became a teenager, we used to we had parents sanctioning cliff diving. Like legitimately, we used to go to a lake and my parents like, "Yeah, jump off this massive cliff." Um in a lake that was notoriously for receding water lines from drought. Just FYI.
Oh, no.
To be fair, they jumped first to make sure it was safe.
Yeah.
Of course.
Also, I'm getting my tattoo in 20 minutes.
Oh, congrats! What are you getting?
What?
What are you getting?
Oh, sorry. I was drying my hair. It's like a sakura branch along my collarbone with the petals are gonna be like the trans flag colors.
Oh, that's really cool. You'll have to show us after.
That sounds awesome. Yes, please.
Okay.
Just a tip: don't laugh when you get your tattoo. They will think you're insane.
Good job. That was
They absolutely will.
Snake.
I was 18. Sorry.
Where did Snake go?
I don't know. But when I was 18, I got my first tattoo, and it's a band on my upper arm, like above my elbow, and it took like an hour and 15 minutes. My aunt halfway through was like, "Are you still awake?" And I like mumbled, "Yeah," because I was genuinely dozing off. It
No,
was
this
ridiculous. He had me laying in the position that I lay when I go to sleep at night. So my body was just like, "Okay, it's time to sleep."
man. Why does somebody with such a base name have to have such horrid views? Tim Tam Slam, man. Tim Tam Slams are great, but his views are terrible.
Wait, what's a Tim Tam Slam?
It's So do you know what a Tim Tam is?
No.
Okay. So Tim Tam is an Australian like chocolate cookie.
Oh.
A skit cookie thing. And a Tim Tam Slam is when you bite off both ends and then you drink like a hot liquid throughout the middle, and it like melts the chocolate on the inside, and then you eat it, and it's like biscuits. It's like cookies and milk, but like better, just better in every way.
How can something so delicious represent something so hatred? That didn't make any sense. Words.
It's okay. We all struggle to English sometimes.
I struggle to English a lot, to be fair. Yeah.
No, I don't think that they're for trans people.
I mean, at least I know the words mean words, to be fair. What does pum mean? I don't know what pum means.
It's Jamaican. It's
Pum
Jamaican. The pum
meaning.
I think they're just making fun of you. I think that's what they're doing.
When did I say pum?
No,
So-
I'm talking about the comments.
Oh, it's an acronym for privileged user management, or potentially unwanted modification, or peanut reactive urinary mucin.
What?
I don't know. This is what Google is telling me.
I think they're trying to reference the West African meaning of it, which is the female genitalia, essentially.
Oh.
Yeah, you never called it like your little pum pum before?
No, I haven't.
Oh. You've never heard that either. Okay, cool.
No.
That's the only context I'd heard it in.
I've heard it mostly from Jamaicans.
My mom ironically called it the ballet tutu.
Yeah, they basically are prom, if you're wondering.
Yeah, because Blackheart said, or added pum and then said, "What are you saying now, pum?"
For real. Also, I just want to say, Blackheart has been in our comments nearly every single time we have been live and never comes up on the panel, which I think is weird behavior. Very obsessed, but
it's
like as long as you're as long as you're which I don't think you've been overly respectful in the comments. So anybody who they're not being respectful to, if you're ever like for me to mute them, please let me know. That goes for literally anybody. Because we don't stand for that unless like the person being hurt is like, wait, no, I want to talk to them. Wait, I want to make a point, whatever it is. So, yeah, but that's just kind of funny that I see them literally all the time, and you just won't join the live to talk about it.
Also, I did Urban Dictionary pum, and that is actually, it just says really big and bold on my screen, sexual intercourse, but then the Urban Dictionary does say pum pum is a slang Jamaican word referring to a woman's.
Yeah, it's actually pronounced poom poom, by the way. When you're using it, yes, like the U is like an U because it's a different language, so that's like how they pronounce that letter and when they say it. So yeah.
Jamaican slang is so hilarious to listen to. I love it. It sounds so cool. And a lot of it
the more
is like,
you know.
A lot of it is like very like they're saying words that like, yeah, technically this means what you mean, but like this is not how like a normal English speaker would go about saying this stuff. And it's quite cool.
I learned what tummy swords were the other day on a live. Y'all can Urban Dictionary that because I had to.
Or they could have. That part also could have just been purposefully.
I assume you saw that comment as well.
Pum pums bring poom poom. Oh my god, poom poom brings life.
I mean, technically, yeah.
Say technically, this isn't like inherently wrong. Hi, Danny. Hey, buddy.
Where are foes?
I don't know where ops are.
Foes. It might be. We have too many people on the panel. I can jump down if you want.
I can also jump down. It's your call.
Oh. Oh.
Oh.
Apparently, other people just took the initiative. But again,
Alright.
if you want it even smaller, just let me know. Thank you for
Okay.
being here, friends. Let's see if this helps. Meek.
Yeah, I don't know what happened to Solid Snake Kitty. I don't know what happened to her.
Yeah, it might be like someone else fronting or some shit like that too.
Yeah.
Unknown. Who knows? It could be lots of things. But if they are listening, because Palm's in the comments, Anthony,
Oh no.
because I will never let that go, Palm.
Hey Tony, get over here.
Because Anthony.
I dated a Tony once. He was objectively horrible. No, I'm not saying this speaks for all Tonys. The Tony I dated is personally bad.
No, it goes for all Tony. What are you talking about? Clearly.
Oh, okay. Sorry.
Like everybody with the name Christie is objectively wrong. No.
I mean, when this person breaks into your house and you have to hold a knife to them to get them out, it ruined all the Tonys for me.
Oh,
so
yeah,
y'all had a bad rap.
Listen.
It was, yeah, it was.
That's
not
how
fun.
I feel about Simons.
Oh, there she is.
But Simon says.
It only matters what Simon says because there's a song. Anyways, sorry. Yeah. It literally like didn't matter what he said. He always like did the opposite or was like really. I mean, there wasn't craziness on that level, but I definitely did get cheated on, which was so fun with somebody who was 14 years older than me when I was 19.
I'll beat him
My
up.
God. I'll join
So
you.
different kind of fucked up.
Also, Blackheart, you weren't saying that I had one. You were literally calling me the genital. That's like calling someone the C word. That is rude. That is wrong. That is derogatory.
Big loud incorrect buzzer. Brr. It's wrong.
Sorry, I'm on my alt account because my other account is Banana till the 26th. And I haven't used my alt account in like a year, so.
Yeah, the reason Pom's banned on that account is because like he showed his third leg, and he shouldn't have done that. I'm joking.
I showed part of my leg and it banned me for nudity.
Wow.
His third leg's just so massive that he got instantly banned.
So
Yes,
till the
Mango.
26th, I fucked him up. Did my cat just mute me? I can't come up on my main account. So.
Don't
But
worry,
yeah,
my cat.
I just wanted to say that because yeah, Blackheart was calling me the C word basically, and I'm like he's trying to gaslight people saying, "Oh no, I just was saying you had one." And he's like,
No.
Oh no,
Yeah.
ones and zeros, so scary.
I was about to say, Mango, that's pretty funny for the non-binary folks
That
here.
is.
It's not even like proper
that is.
binary. It's just binary gibberish. It's not even like letters or anything that you could like binary.
By the way, Palm, don't worry. My cat tries to send y'all all gifts, even though I don't ever have any coins.
Oh, you should buy some coins so your cat can send me a gift.
Don't touch the screen. No, don't touch. Yes, we like cuddling, but we don't like touching the screen. What does that say, Stout?
It says binary and binary.
Oh, okay, great. Hi, sweetheart. I love you. Oh, look at the baby. So, I like
Look
my
at the
cat.
baby.
I love my kitty.
Unfortunately, I am not a robot, therefore I cannot read binary and understand its translation to English.
Mochi! Mochi's getting big screen. I've made the objective
Mochi.
decision
I
that
love
Mochi
you.
gets big screen.
Kitty.
I love
Oh, what a boy! What a boy! Oh my goodness!
Psst, 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 psst,
That's
psst,
cuddle
psst,
buddy.
psst.
A half dog version
Psst, psst, psst.
of Mochi.
I
By
saw
the
your
way,
dog version.
I was
solid,
about to say that's a good
Oh, you're purring!
comparison
She's
to make.
purring. She's purring.
solid. Unfortunately, even though I'm Cybertronian, we don't speak binary. We speak Cybertronian.
She's adorable. I love
I'm
her.
Speaking of which,
doing.
Just
did you know
don't show your leg, Andy. Don't show your leg, Anthony.
I'm doing the most
Speaking of
autistic
which,
thing I've done in a while, guys.
did y'all
Tonight.
know there's like
Mochi is looking at Mochi.
did y'all know there's like 4 different versions of Cybertronian language?
When did you get that picture of my cat? When did you get the picture? When did you get that picture?
He has all the pictures of your cat.
Oh,
She has all the
does,
pictures.
apparently.
Blah.
You did send us a photo dump that one time.
No, you showed it on live. Tom. You showed it
And
on
you
live.
screenshotted it?
Obviously.
Obviously, it's Mochi.
Oh my god.
I
Yeah,
don't
they
take
did-
many screenshots, but when it's Mochi, I have to crop it to Mochi's face.
Did you guys see the little video of Danny's little Pete's running while you're streaming?
No.
Oh,
I haven't yet, but I'll check it out at some point.
yeah, this one.
But yeah, there's
replied
like
to it in
6
Discord.
There's like 6 different versions of Cybertronian. There's ancient Cybertronian, modern universal Cybertronian. Both the Autobots and Decepticons have their own versions of Cybertronian. And there's Velocitronian and Wild Planet language.
That's actually really interesting because, like, that's sort of how actual languages works. Because, like, what am I thinking of? You know, like, for North and South Korean, for example, like, North Korean is, like, very. They don't have any loan words, like, on purpose, so they have, like, old Korean words instead of, like, English and, like, Japanese and Chinese words. While South Korea has, like, tons and tons of loan words. Just because of the, like, cultural divide. It's like linguistics is actually really interesting. But yeah, this is my
Oh my god. I was on a debate with Dalton the Bible guy, and we were like using Greek loanwords to date Daniel, and we asked this individual what a Greek loanword was. And they had absolutely no clue. They said it was a word that stands alone.
Beta.
No
was
way,
like,
Pom
wait.
just got banned. Pom
Wait,
just
what?
got banned.
No
Nuh-uh.
fucking way. Oh my god.
What?
Apparently Mochi is getting you banned now. What the fuck?
What?
How did you get banned? Bro.
What?
No, expose pussies. Sorry, was that too raunchy?
That's crazy.
Not for
Blame
me, at least.
Oracle. Blame
No
Oracle
poom
for
pooms.
this split.
I've shown my black pussy and my stripy pussy numerous times, but apparently that doesn't get me banned.
Okay, I gotta go to my
Just
tattoo
Tom.
appointment.
Okay, bye.
Okay, have fun. Bye.
Goodbye.
Bye. What the heck?
I was wondering why Pom disappeared from the panel. I was about to ask, and then all I saw was no.
Palm, did it tell you what you
Yeah,
got?
I was
like,
about to ask. Did it just say community guidelines violation or?
Yeah, it always says that for some reason. It
Yeah.
never tells you why. The most you'll get is like bullying and harassment.
I've always figured it out. if you go into your if you go to your inbox, usually it tells you why. I thought, like the system notification.
Yeah, it should tell you why, and then you can appeal it. Palm, you need to. That sounds weird now saying that. You need to appeal.
What were you gonna say?
Well, just because the whole pom pom thing. Okay.
Oh, the poom poom thing.
Poom poom.
Hi, holy gore, little friend.
I literally brought up a picture of Mochi and then Pong got banned.
Who knows?
Thanks for the heartbeat,
Yippee,
by
I
the
just
way.
got gifted some roses.
Yippee! Which will automatically probably just get fed back to me based off of your gifting habits. No, kidding. or Palm.
Oh, hey.
Thanks, friend.
Hey,
No.
Stowski, I've actually saved some of mine. I currently have in live rewards, if I was to exchange it, 2,418 coins.
That's not
Did
bad.
someone mute Blackheart because all their comments are missing? So they either got banned or somebody. Oh wait, no, now I see one. Okay,
Oh, I was gonna say,
but
did they leave? Did they get banned?
maybe
Did
that
they get
too.
blocked?
That's like $20 in coins.
Okay.
It's £24 in coins. It's $29.51.
I have let's see.
Indeed.
Not there. It's studio. I need to just hook up my my thing because I have rewards.
Tim Tam Slam, if Blackheart's bullying you specifically and you want us to not let them around, we can do that. All you have to do is ask. But it's our live, and this is how we choose to moderate it. So there's your answer.
Here's Ancient Cybertronian.
I have $45.61 in live rewards, but that's literally like all I've ever gotten ever. And
You've never
occasionally,
spent it. What? Isn't half of that like from me?
yeah, probably. Thanks, friend.
I'm calling my money back. I'm joking.
A good amount of it was from Ashland when she dumped a galaxy.
Yeah, and a lot of it is from me just dropping hundreds and hundreds and hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of just 5 and 10 coin gifts.
I now have $7, but I had enough. I just went around giving it back because I was like, I'm not gonna pull this out.
I know you gave me a galaxy, and I'm still thankful for that.
Right? And the little cute crystal crown you gave me. But on that note, Stowe, I had this idea. Wanted to bring it up to you. It's just an idea, guys. But maybe we could either donate all the gifts that we get like once a week or whatever to a specific trans person for that week who's participated in the panels, or we can put up somebody's Cash App if they're cool with that, Cash App, Venmo, whatever, and say the best way to support us is to send donations. And then we'd actually be able to.
Venmo. They're not in the UK.
Do you have something else that people can use?
PayPal. You can use.
See, we can do PayPal. We can do PayPal.
I use PayPal primarily.
You
That's
guys,
my primary, honestly.
Yeah, you guys give a lot of like information and effort and share your stories and all of that all the time up here, and I think that that deserves to be like. It doesn't. Not that we do it so that we can get money, but when we do get money, it's paying us for labor that we're doing, even if we enjoy that labor too. So I feel like that might be a good way to give back.
Yeah, I
Hey,
normally
guys.
save up after a while and then just go give to creators. Like that's what I normally do. took me a long time to get $70. I mean,
Yeah,
I get
I've ended up with that £24 or like nearly $30 in the span of about starting my live streams up back again, which was about a week and a half ago.
Wow, that's pretty good.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not bad.
Literally, Ashlyn gave me a galaxy, and then all of a sudden, day after day, I got like 3 or 4 galaxies throughout the last couple weeks.
Nice.
And I'm shocked. I'm like, how the fuck? I am not that entertaining.
I would disagree with you on that.
I think you're pretty entertaining. I think you have funny stories of like things that you've done. Like I think that's part of it too. Is that like you're good to fill like white noise or like dead air.
What I will say,
You're
though,
static. That's what you are.
We have entertaining stories, and they're not like just.
No, it was the way that you said that, Stutsky. I know what you meant.
I don't mean any offense.
Hey guys, it's a weird thing to call your cheese mochi. By the way, Pom, 100% real cheese.
Oh,
cheese.
guys, gals, theys, thems, non-binary folks. I don't know. I was saying, guys.
People.
People. Yes, people. So yesterday, like the person I live with, who's like also my ex, it's very complicated. Don't ask. Anyways, so they walk in and they're like, "I'm gonna take you to see the penguins." I am obsessed with penguins. So I get to go see the penguins.
The last time I saw penguins, they were getting it on.
No, like in person.
Yeah, like the last time I saw penguins in person, they were getting it on.
Like the behind the scenes where you get to like meet them. Like that one.
Oh, you get to do that?
He's taking me.
Oh, that's awesome.
Cuz we have an aquarium that does penguin encounters.
Where are the weasel encounters?
We're not. I'm not just gonna go to the aquarium and like no, that's not what I'm doing. I'm like actually encountering the penguin.
That's epic.
Y'all should see my room. I have penguins everywhere.
You know what I like to think? I think Ashlyn, you gave me some good luck, honestly, because it was after you gave me that galaxy, like the next couple of streams, I ended up getting a shit ton of gift gold filled, and it was like, oh, what the fuck? And then I was being given galaxies and stuff, and it was like, wow.
That really is how it is sometimes. Is that like some days I'll come off of streams with like 2K, 3K in coins, and then other times I'll have like 100. And that's it.
It's very feast or famine.
When I used to do my lives and stuff, I really would just get like a few pennies, which I don't care. That's fine. I don't do it for the money, but it was just like yippee, a couple coins and then from like the daily heart meets, and that was about it. And then when I've restarted it back up, I've gotten a shit ton more than the entirety of like the 3-4 months I did it. Okay, to be fair, I did get quite a bit of coins from Caster, but again, those coins were just me and Caster sending them to each other infinitely. So I don't think that really counts as much, because we kept sending each other about the same amount of coins.
Yeah, weirdly, like even Dalton doesn't get a ton of coins, and he has like a pretty large platform. I mean, he gets super chats. That's like all his income. To be fair, he does this like for his livelihood. What is that noise?
I have no idea, but it's great.
I know, I like it too.
Oh, the noise is me with a glass bottle.
Please don't stop. I'm dancing to the beat.
Oh, okay. I thought we were.
That was lovely.
Hold on.
Also, look who's back!
Hello.
Did you manage to appeal it?
So it was because apparently I look too young.
I was gonna say that's a possibility.
They thought they got you.
Yeah, great. The problem is, I don't have my ID right now because it's at the DMV getting fixed.
Just a baby.
Hey, this is why I don't show my face.
I hate the anyone. I
Ooh,
hate the
we have a
DMV.
request.
DMV. What's the request?
How do you pronounce your name and can I get your age and pronouns, please?
Consistency. Well then.
I guess not.
That sounded like a fetus.
Yeah, they're blocked now.
It
so.
indeed did.
I love how you switch it back afterwards. I don't think people know to come up, Stotsky, because you have a cat.
I
with
guess that
100%
is a
real
fair
cheese.
assessment.
Oh, we have
Like,
another
people
request.
probably don't know what the debate is about.
Oh, it's salad.
It's about
savage.
cats.
Selfish.
Is the cat
I was about to
100%
say
real
stuff.
cheese? That cat is 100% real cheese.
That is Mochi,
I
that
guess-
is Pom's cat.
Salvage is just too savage for
It's
Stoke to call them
cheese.
anything else.
Ah weep grana weep nini bong. That is the universal greeting
It's
recognized
mochis.
by most creatures in the universe.
I have
Grandpa.
cheese in my fridge too.
I ate some cheese earlier. Just cheese on its own.
By the way, I don't know what keeps going on with your ID, Palm.
They keep saying there's something wrong with my social security and that I need something more with my social security than the social security number. So we go to the social security office and we're like, hey, they're saying this, so I can't get the ID properly. And they're like, well, you need an ID to get this. And I'm like, I can't get that without an ID, but I need that to get an ID.
Can't you use like a like bill in your name and then like
That's what my mom is doing. She's going to be putting me on the electric bill after she talks to my father about it. And then after I'm on the electric bill, it should be easier to get my ID properly because Social Security and DMV wants to be a fucking bitch about getting my ID. Sorry. It's pissing me off.
To be fair, you kind of want it to be difficult because
Yes,
otherwise it's
but
easy to steal.
The reason why it's getting so difficult here, at least, is because of the whole immigration thing. They want to know that you're a citizen and that you have this and that, but it gets to the point where it's hard to get something that you need for everyday life for adulting, right? I have money, but I need my ID and I need certain things to get the money out of my account. I currently have $167 in my account right now.
Wait, what? Like a bank account?
No, because I need my ID properly for that. It is my PayPal account.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that's like one of the ways too, is that you can show like any statement, that's why it's a lot easier for someone who has like bank accounts established or like because you can just go online and print that out and bring it to the DMV along with like your birth certificate, and like things like that just to show who you are.
Yeah, I mean,
it comes really circular and difficult. I'm sorry.
Yeah, that's why we're trying to do the bill thing. I'm gonna put my mom's gonna put me on the electric bill, basically. And that should be easier to get my ID because it's been a huge problem fighting. I don't want to keep fighting to get a basic thing. They don't give you like a book for adulting. They don't give you a book for doing this.
Yeah, I get that. I mean, a couple years ago, not when I was 17, I had an issue of. I'm just going to explain this in the quickest way possible. I applied for my provisional license, which is basically what you guys class as a learner's permit, but it has more restrictions and things like that, and it's to learn to drive before you get the full license. But it costs a fee. Now, I had my application rejected for some bullshit reason, and so they send the fee back via check. I had a bank account open, but not proper bank account with a bank branch where you could deposit checks. For that, you need an ID. At the time, I didn't have photo ID. And so I was stuck in a loop of, I don't have my provisional license, so I can't claim the check. But because I don't have the check, I don't have the money to reapply. And so I was stuck in an infinite loop.
God damn.
Until before I got to go to Italy, I got my passport to then open the account to then do it. But a passport is nearly £100. That's like $130.
They don't let you open a bank account with a social security number and
No.
with along with like a school ID and a birth certificate.
Nope.
You
It
have
needs
to have like
photo
a
ID.
government ID. Oh damn.
Has to be photo ID. Thing is, in the UK, we don't have social security, but what we do have is something called a national insurance number. You receive that when you're 16. And even though that can be a supporting thing, that in and of itself is not classed as ID, despite it identifying who you are. It can be a supporting piece of ID, but it cannot be a sole ID. Same with the birth certificate.
The problem here is it'd be easier if I had like a driver's license, right? It would be much easier if I had a driver's license, and because that's usually how people here do it. They have their driver's license and everything else, and then they go up, and that can do it. I can't drive because of my health issues, so I can't get a driver's license.
You can get an ID card. You don't have to get that's an all state thing. So you just in fact I think you're actually technically, depending on the state, required to have one. And some places are like you have to stop and present if you're over the age of 18, you should actually have either a driver's license or a government ID card.
Yeah, they're stop and identify states and laws. So.
Yeah, stop and identify.
Yeah.
Is the name of those laws.
I just wanted to say really quickly. Sorry, just really quickly. You said something about there not being like a handbook or like a guide for adulting. That's why I came up. I just want to say I'm 24, so I'm 5 years older than you, right? I have lived in different places, but right now I live with my parents. I work for my family out of my home. And anytime I need to do things like when I got my name changed, when I need my driver's license updated, things like that, I still ask if one of my parents can go with me, or have them help me figure all that shit out. So at least you know that you're not alone, and that, like, if you have help to ask for, that's awesome. We're all here to do what we can. It sounds like your parents are helping you some, which is good. But yeah, it's not easy for any of us, is what I wanted to say essentially.
Yeah,
especially disabled as we are.
The thing is, and one thing I don't normally talk about is we were in a very bad place financially when I was younger. So a lot of the things I should have, a lot of the things I should have, I don't, because we weren't in a place to get everything together. We were in a place of, okay, what is needed, such as food, trying to earn money, trying to keep a house. So like I didn't have like an ID at 16. I didn't have a lot of things other people did, because we weren't in a good state to do that. So we are kind of far behind when it comes to certain things. I know this. I don't say that a lot because it's hard to say, hey, we weren't in a good place at all. So I don't have things normal people should have at that age.
Yeah, a lot of places too, just FYI. So like to replace Social Security or to get a birth certificate will accept the letter that you get from applying for an ID. It doesn't have to be a driver's license. They'll take that letter as well. So like when you don't have to like wait until you get the physical ID or license. They'll give you a piece of paper that says like your information on it, and that should be sufficient.
I just have to get all that information, which is the hardest part at the moment. I'm not good with talking with people, so part of it could be definitely my fault when it comes to communication on the line. But it's a lot of arguing right now, going back and forth, because I'm trying to get everything in order. This is the way they've changed IDs is different than like when my parents got IDs, so they have to look up stuff too, and it's just like a mess in a way.
Yeah.
I'm trying to get all my information in order, which is all new to me.
Your frustration is valid. The DMV isn't exactly known for being, or any government office known for being friendly and easy. So this frustration is experienced universally. I think. I don't think anyone likes to do these things. It's even like all adults think that it's really annoying to deal with this. So you're definitely not alone.
Yeah, once I get my name on this bill, it should be easier. Should be a lot easier to do. I know I'm very far behind in what I should be doing at almost 20 years old. I'm trying to catch up.
I'm not driving right now, and my license has been expired since August of last year. So
okay.
you're not like it happens. Like no, this is a thing. Like I don't need to drive, so I was like, screw it, I'm not going to get it replaced. I don't like leave my house really, so like so when it comes time to like me needing it, for example, like I didn't expect to have to fly. And my license expired when I was flying of August of last year. And it well actually no, it wasn't expiring. It was what happened? Oh, they were switching to regular ID to real ID, and the flight was literally right on that date. And I didn't even think about that. So I had to look up the process of flying without the real ID and get there early and go in and hope that they would let me fly because I had called them and they had said that. But as an adult, we know just because someone on the phone says something doesn't mean that that's always how it works out. So like this is something. Don't worry. Like as an adult, all of us experience. We all lose stuff. We all aren't prepared at some point or another. That is just part of it. Now, some of us may be more prepared than others. Good for them. I'm not one of those people.
When
either.
we had a big storm here in Texas, and we actually lost part of our house in that storm, which lost part of our paperwork. We actually had to get a new I have it now, but we had to get my birth certificate again because that was lost during the whole storm. It got wet because part of our house flooded, so it wasn't. We had to redo that, which was absolute hell, by the way, to try to get your birth certificate back. But the real ID is the thing I'm having the problem on. And it's a stupid thing. I hate it.
And learning how to talk to people is like really the kind of crux of it too. I will say, like, there was another example of where I was flying and I didn't realize that how their policy went is that you have to pay like $100 for the checked bag, and then there's a certain like size. So I was, and this was all when I was broke, and my dad was basically paying for it because I was going to take care of a family member. And not only was I broke, I had lost my debit card. But I could but this debit card with the bank transfer, because I had money in one account, but because of this, I couldn't transfer money out instantly because you needed the debit card number. And this isn't one of the new accounts where they can give you a virtual card. This is like a hard bank because I have one hard bank and then I have several bank accounts that are like the Cash App bank card, like those that can give you virtual cards. And so I walked up and I started talking to this woman, and she just waived the fee for me. Because at first I was like, I understand, like, this isn't your fault. This is obviously my fault. Is there anything that I could do? Because I can't get a hold of my father right now who could transfer me the money. And she's just like, I didn't do this, and then waived the fee. And sometimes you just get lucky when you speak to someone. Yeah, most of the time you just explain to them, like, I'm not going to yell at you. Honestly, if you're just nice to people in customer service.
I try to be nice as possible. Like, I rarely yell at people. I'm a very timid person. I get very shy and I get very scared easily. I have major social anxiety, which is why this whole thing is more frustrating because I can't communicate to people properly because I'm too scared to communicate to people.
Hold on. Abdul, Salam alaikum. I know you, and you're not a good person, Abdul.
Oh, this is gonna be fun.
You know me, but I don't know you.
Yeah, you do. You were on Reggie's live.
Who's Reggie?
You know who Godless Reggie is. And fair, you have the exact same profile picture and the exact same name.
No, I'm sure you know me, but I just don't know you.
Yeah, you
I'm a famous person, that's why.
No, that's not why. You just said like really horrible things. You live in, I think, Canada
I didn't say anything.
now. You're Canadian, but you're like Pakistani or something.
Yeah, I was born in Canada. My family's from India.
Or Indian. Or India. Oh no, that was right. You consistently lied. That was another thing about you.
Oh, this is gonna be joyous.
Okay. I don't even know who you are, to be honest with you. You're not familiar at all.
Yeah,
neither is your name.
because I don't go around saying like really bad things. That's
Ashland
why.
lurks in the shadows.
I just came like 2 minutes ago. I haven't even been here for 2 minutes. What are you guys talking about?
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
I just said let me up to debate. That's all.
Yeah. So you said that you disagree. What would it take for you to agree with us? What do you think hypothetically?
I mean, you could persuade me with a reasonable arguments. I'm not stubborn. I would say I was wrong, and I would change my mind for sure.
So what do you
Would
disagree?
you believe science?
Yeah, what would you like
Sorry.
disagree about in the first place?
So I don't this thing about affirmative care. It relates to minors. So called. That's why it's called affirmative care, to quote unquote affirm their feeling. But I think that's very dangerous because minors can be confused and they go through phases and they change their mind a lot. And just because a girl says, "Well, today I feel like a boy," you're not just going to rush them to the doctor and say, "Well, she needs a surgery now and she needs affirmative care."
How much do you know actually about affirmative care besides what you just made up about it? Because you just made all that up. That's not how it works.
I know what it involves. I know it involves.
It's not just one day, by the way. That would be wild. No one would support care if it was just one day a girl decides that she's a boy. Because I'm assuming this is a cis individual who's just feeling this way in one day. That's not how it works. No one gives affirmative care because of that.
Including us, which I think is the point Ashland's making. So, like, we agree on that, moving on to something that's actually on topic and accurate about what affirmative care looks like.
I'm glad we agreed that in doing it in one day is terrible, but I would say even more than multiple days. As long as they're a minor, changing a girl to a boy or vice versa, that's a terrible thing to do to a child. Terrible thing.
That's not what affirmative care is. That's what conversion therapy is, which isn't what we're arguing for.
Or even telling a girl, like, okay, we're going to consider you a boy. We're going to change your name. We're going to change your pronouns. We're going to change the way you dress and so on and so forth. I think that's child abuse.
Okay,
We wouldn't tell a girl that. We would tell boys that.
Do you know the difference between sex and gender?
As far as I'm concerned, there's no difference.
So you're an expert in this field?
It's common sense. It's just general knowledge.
Nope, that's not.
You don't require expertise to understand that.
You do, because gender is a biopsychosocial aspect, whereas sex is just biological.
I disagree. I don't think there's any distinction.
Why not?
You literally disagree with science at that point. You said you'd take a reasonable argument. We're giving you one, and you're just saying no.
I think science is on my side. Science says that there are two sexes. That's it.
No, because no, that's not what I said. And science is a bimodal aspect. They do agree that there are two sexes, but they don't agree that sex and gender are the same thing, which is what I said. So don't conflate my words. Argue.
Which
the actual
scientist
point.
said there's a distinction?
Yale Medicine, Harvard, the American Psychological Association, the American Medical Association. All of these places.
Okay, when did the American Medical Association make
Hey,
this?
Stotsky, you want to pull up Yale Medicine, difference between sex and gender?
I mean, if you want to look up American Medical Association, if that's the specific one he wants, I guess.
Tell me the date that they made this decision.
Why does it need to have a date?
I'll tell
This
you
was
why.
published in. When was this published? I don't see a published date. September 19th, 2021. But I bet you that
Wow.
this goes back further than that, even.
That's just 5 years ago. Like until 5 years ago, they didn't know there was a difference.
Do you know
between
what science does? It updates as it receives more data.
The point I'm
And
making
they
is
found out about
it's a politically motivated.
Abdul. They found out about 30 years ago, and I know this because in the 1990s, a cisgender woman coined the terms cisgender and transgender, and those terms describe the relation between sex and gender, which inherently acknowledges that they are two different things. So it's been
Was she
over
a
30
scientist?
years of us knowing this.
No, but
Yes.
she was a scientist.
Yeah, crazy. The people who come up with new scientific terminology are typically scientists.
What was her name?
I mean, so would have to look that up.
I
believe it was a cis woman who coined the terms in the 90s.
Transgender was, I think,
Oh, you're
around
telling me, yeah.
beforehand. It was coined in, let's see. What was... Who's this?
I'm getting Dana Leland DeFrost, who used it in
Usenet groups?
in 1994. The original was a German sexologist, Volkmar Sigjusch, who used the German form Cis Sexualimus. That's my German is obviously not there. Let's see the DOI for this.
So in the U.S., it was 94 that it was coined by this woman, Dana DeFrost, I think her last name was.
Carl, let's see, Carl Bijus?
But mind you, all these people we're talking about are cisgender scientists.
Okay, but think about something. Our scientists, they figured out advanced physics, the theory of relativity, the atom bomb, and so on and so forth, before they figured out that sex and gender are not synonymous.
Because they weren't looking into it.
You do realize that psychology wasn't empirical until the late 1800s, and I don't know what this means. Like, this is just you trying to come up with a weird argument.
It means that all of these...
Within Germany, this actually happened before the atom bomb. This was in 1914. If we were gonna go back to, like, the idea of being cisgender, at least what we would consider today cisgender. This goes back.
I don't know. So I just have a question. We didn't classify or discover certain cancers prior to even this year. Does that say anything about discovering these cancers?
No, I think cancer is a much more complicated and is more akin to rocket science than figuring out something basic that you guys are saying is basic psychology, that gender and sex are not.
When did we say it was basic psychology?
So what is it? So it's a very technical.
I said it was a biopsychosocial schema, which is, I would consider that
now you're adding
fairly
the
difficult.
social element.
No, that's exactly what I said previously. I called it a biopsychosocial aspect or schema.
I think I got reason to see. Look, I'm gonna be honest, because you guys said that are you gonna be persuaded if we present science, but you're not really presenting science. You're presenting politically motivated decision by scientific boards. Because of the culture that has changed, basically.
No,
scientific articles aren't science to you. That is pretty hysterical.
You just like fallacies.
I mean,
like
in 2020, sometimes you're saying 2021, sometimes you're saying 1994, sometimes you're saying 1914.
Well, it depends
it's not
on
science.
what. It depends on
it's
what.
It's not
what
hard empirical science.
So, like, these ideas came out at different times. Like, the ideas of being trans and cis came around in the early 1900s. Or the 1910s, essentially, is about the earliest it goes back to. We have ideas of there being more than two genders, or like some sort of idea of, sex and gender being separated, going back thousands of years. We have different. This comes out up in different cultures across different time periods, across without actually even having contact with each other. So these ideas have arisen independently multiple times. So it's clearly not just something that like we haven't like quote unquote discovered it ever. It's just that we've come back around to acknowledge it. This fact of reality of the human experience that we live in. Like this is just a factual part of the human experience.
Yeah, and then also it's at least for like the medical affirmation part. Again, they started like the first gender affirmation surgery. Keaton would have to look up exactly when that was. I don't know if I'm remembering correctly that Magnus Hirschfeld's Institute was the first place to perform it.
You know
But
what's funny?
mhm.
Abdul, you said you're from India, right?
My family is. I was born in Canada.
Okay, you do know that there are what we would consider a third gender in your apparently parents' cultures, because it sounds like you're disconnecting from them.
You're referring to what we call hijras. Those are basically hermaphrodites. Now, because
Okay,
No.
we're
India
not
has
gonna
such a
Abdul, you need to
No.
listen. I need to correct the okay. Hermaphrodite is a term that we can only use in reference to plants and animals that are not human beings. When we are talking about human beings, we are going to use the term intersex or disorder of sexual development, or DSD for short. Pick one of those. Don't use it's okay if you didn't know before, but please do not use that word in reference to human beings, because we physically, scientifically, A, cannot be in that way, and B, it's dehumanizing. So we're not going to do that.
okay,
Thanks.
whatever. The thing is that she said India. Now,
It's
in as you know,
it's a legal category. It is not intersex.
no,
Just
but
FYI.
I'm telling you something. In India, it's the most populous country in the world now. So that what you call intersex population, which is otherwise very maybe like 0.1% or something like that.
Many are not intersex people as well.
Originally, that's what it was referring to when you're
No.
talking about the so-called third
No.
gender. Yeah,
No.
that's what
So
it's
there's
referred to.
also
I'm very sorry you're separated from your culture, but this is not the case.
It's not our culture. It was just the word, the how we recognize
It's
people that are intersex.
because that's the biopsychosocial schema. It's a cultural attribute as well.
Yeah, because people who had that disorder were
It's not a
separated from the
it's
disorder.
rest
not
of
a
society.
disorder.
You just said it was a disorder.
Okay,
No, he
I
didn't.
misspoke. I did say disorder of sexual development. It's actually
Different.
referred to now as difference in sexual development, and that was my
Okay.
bad for
No, well,
referring to it that way.
no. Hydras themselves are some are intersex people,
But not all of them. I
but
understand
not
that too.
all. So
No,
Yeah.
what happened is in recent times, though, because this
this
transgender
isn't
thing
recent.
became
This
popular
isn't.
and spread to India and Pakistan as well, that those people started attributing to themselves to that Hijra community as well. But the original community was not transgender; they were just intersex.
No.
We don't
Yes,
care what original was, even if
I
it's
mean that's
true
what
or
Ashlyn brought
not.
up. She
Like,
brought up that
we
topic.
care. No, we
There
care about current. We care about who currently is considered a Hydra, not who was. We're talking about now, believe it or not.
And Hijras were a distrusted or a disliked community, not because of being intersex per se, but because of their activity and behavior in society. They went
Okay,
to.
we're not going to
you
mispaint people that you are, like, you're not a part of
yeah.
that culture. So we're not going to just talk about how these people act, because you don't actually have any idea how these people act. I'm going to kind of shift topics to another experience in society where we have a third gender. Before the Turtle Island was colonized, the indigenous American population um, had what we now refer to as two-spirit identity, and it was different as to how many different genders and what exactly they looked like, differing on like which area you were in. So like different groups would have different specific genders, and those all fall under now kind of the umbrella term of two-spirit. And that existed before we colonized here, first of all. So we took that kind of away from them and are finally saying, like, okay, maybe it's okay to be trans, but not anymore because Trump's in office. But anyways, so those people existed. And we also have written history of third genders from like the beginning of our written history in Mesopotamia. So you can't say that like we didn't exist or we were only intersex people or whatever. Like the LGBTQIA plus community has always existed, does exist, and will always exist.
Yeah, but I don't recognize Native American culture or consider it valid. So you can't persuade me with that.
Wow. History
I
isn't
did not
valid.
say that
That is
he's
the
a
most-
horrible individual.
Christian, what did he say?
He says that he doesn't consider Native American culture valid.
Wow,
Okay.
that's a
By the
clip.
way, did you know that Jewish people have around 6 genders in their culture?
Those aren't genders, by the way. Those are secondary sex
There
characteristics.
you go. There you go. It's not. So you are. That's
No,
not
shut up,
correct argument.
Abdul. Shut up. You're just a shitty person, and you've proved my point now. Anyways, yeah, those were so in ancient Hebrew, and you're thinking of the 6 categories and 2 subcategories. These were secondary sex characteristic categories for law. That's what those terms. Yeah. Though there is arguments, in I do not like this word, but this is biblically the word eunuch was used. There are arguments out there that say that term likely could have been attributed to a category of people that could include trans individuals. But the kind of consensus that I'm familiar with typically says that this specific ancient culture didn't recognize things like gender in the same way that we do, so it likely wasn't. But I think that loosely based, we might be able to have an argument.
Thank you for correcting me.
Yeah, no big deal. Yeah, that's a common argument. Dr. Jennifer Bird talks about this a little bit, and I think that there might be some sway, but as far as we can like recognize in ancient Palestine and it seemed like they hadn't developed enough socially to have these specific categories. They seem to only have sex categorization as far as language goes.
All right, good to know. Thank you for correcting me again. I sometimes miscomprehend what something is.
Yeah.
Okay, I just got back, so what is his argument?
Apparently, the Native American culture isn't valid, which is obviously bullshit.
For me, because I'm not Native American, you got to use an argument that'll persuade me. It's not that I'm against them. It's just that you. Why would you use a Native American culture when I said science would persuade me? Hard science, which you guys failed.
That is not
and now
what
you're
you said
moving
at
to Native American
first.
culture.
You said a reasonable argument, verbatim. A reasonable argument. Reasonable evidence is what you wanted. And we
Sure,
gave
reasonable.
so much.
Yes.
And you just said nothing about science initially, too. So we're talking about, like, social stuff as well. So now you're specifically asking for science? We're moving the goalpost, are we?
No. Okay, not just science. Anything that's reasonable. I'm willing to be
There are
persuaded.
studies that show that transgender people's brains are structurally different and in their wavelengths can their wavelengths go more towards what their gender identity is assigned to. Even the difference in their gray matter is they even have a difference in their gray matter.
Okay, but listen, us people, us generation that is hooked on this social media stuff, our brain wiring and brain waves are different than people that didn't have the generations prior. So are we
I
like
didn't
different
grow up
from
on
them?
social media, and I am a transgender person. Actually, my parents would not allow me to grow up on social media because they did not think it was good for me.
Hold on. You just conceded then.
No,
Abdul?
I didn't.
Yes,
No,
you
I didn't. I
did.
said
You didn't know
That's
how
what I
you
was
conceded,
thinking.
but you conceded because whether we're not arguing whether it's a aspect of nature versus nurture. We're just saying they exist as who they are. And if you're saying, well, they exist as who they are because they've been culturally shaped this way, then you just conceded that they are this way.
I would concede that it's a what we call gender dysphoria is a mental
Dysphoria, no.
issue for sure.
Dysphoria, the major reason for a diagnosis is distress, because that's how
Yes.
gender dysphoria exists. But not all trans individuals have distress, so this wouldn't encompass the entire trans community. So you wouldn't have a reason for a diagnosis in all trans
Then
individuals.
what are the other
It would
reasons why
also,
someone would want
Abdul,
to?
it would also
it's
include
it's
distress for
criterium
cis
A.
individuals.
Yeah, it also
So,
includes, yeah.
like,
So,
people with gender dysphoria can be trans or cis. Sorry, go ahead.
yeah, so it's not what else is there. That is the criterion A for or is it criterion A or B? Either way, you have to have distress. So you can't just pick that some individuals don't have distress and then pull the others out, because then they wouldn't have the diagnosis. I can read the diagnosis for you. I have my DSM-5 right here.
I was about to say I can pull that up easily because I have it.
It's one of the criterion.
It's also one of the major ways that it differences from the DSM-3 and 4 diagnosis of gender identity disorder, or GID. The GID included things such as just like gender non-conforming behavior, and that's kind of just been thrown out of the DSM at this point, along with ICD-11.
I have the DSM-3R behind me too. I could grab that.
Disgusting. No.
It's purely for interest of like changes and understanding the differences. Yeah,
it is cool to see how things have like become more progressive as we we found out new information. Let's change this to adapt to this new information.
But Abdul seems to be an ally of ours. He seems to affirm gender trans individuals because he may not agree with us on whether the individual is born that way. But he does seem to accept the fact that they are trans individuals. So let's give Abdul a round of applause. Good job, Abdul, for conceding. It was nice speaking to you today.
I must say,
Yeah, your call. How long is
very poor case. All of you guys combined made a poor case and failed to persuade me.
Abdul, you already agreed to it.
Nothing would persuade you. That's the honest answer to the question. Nothing will make him agree. Absolutely.
I can give you the studies of transgender people's structural of the brain. And actually this is before they go on gender affirming care, so you can see that their brain is structured differently no matter what. It's just how we're born.
No, because of distress, as Ashlyn said.
No, that's not what the structure.
Not all trans people have dysphoria.
Do you think that, other than certain mental cases, but do you think that something like gender dysphoria can completely change your brain structure, the gray matter, everything? Do you really think that
I'm saying distress can, and distress leads to this gender
distress
dysphoria.
cannot change your whole structure of your brain? You know nothing of neuroscience if you think that, and you know nothing of psychology if you think that.
Yeah, 100%. Like, first off, I didn't say that, so please don't put words in my mouth.
Or maybe it was COL.
No. So
Cole Owen.
Okay.
What do you think I said?
Distress.
No, nobody said.
I literally
Somebody
said
said the word
not
distress.
all trans people have gender dysphoria, and I even clarified that people with gender dysphoria can be trans or cis. And gender dysphoria is based off of distress, not being trans itself. Being trans itself is not based off of distress. Not based off of it. There you go.
Yeah.
Gender dysphoria is based off of distress, right?
Dysphoria itself, but cis individuals can experience gender dysphoria as well. So that's
do you think the cis people that have dysphoria are trans just because they have gender dysphoria?
No, I don't think there's such thing as trans. I think there is such thing as dysphoria, though.
But you already admitted to the fact that individuals who have a specific brain, apparently you think that it's culturally driven or nature.
Trauma.
Nature.
Trauma.
So trauma. So what about trans individuals who have not experienced trauma?
Yes, I want you to tell me why would they decide to change their gender?
Because that's who they are.
Yeah, it's not a choice.
I'll tell you some other reasons besides dysphoria.
Can you no. When you say, if you say a reason, I'm going to need a DOI or a PMID number.
A what number?
A what number? He said.
What number?
Are you so you are
I'm giving you a reason. I'm not giving you a file.
No, I need because when we come up with reasons, right, we need them to be academically based. We need evidence for this because causation and correlation are not the same thing, right? You know that, correct?
Do you accept the fact that some men, when they were sentenced to a prison for a crime, that suddenly they said, "Okay, I'm actually a woman," so that they could go to a woman's prison?
Okay, don't pivot. I want you to give a DOI for your reason. I don't want you to pivot off to a new topic.
But this phenomenon, it doesn't exist according to you?
Don't pivot. Give a reason.
I'm not pivoting. I'm not changing the topic. I'm telling you another reason other than dysphoria for why a man would want to become a woman.
No, that's not what's happening in trans individuals. A man is not becoming a woman.
Could you tell me why transgender people have a much higher rate of self-unaliving than other people?
Yes. That's really easy to answer.
Okay,
Go ahead, Mama. You can cook.
Yeah, so I only have about 10 minutes anyways, because I'm on my lunch break. So yeah, the reason why is because of social pressures, people like you. So we actually have tons of studies on this, and a lot of people like you like to read just a number and stop there. I'm like, oh, look at these mentally ill people. But if you actually read the reasoning and the studies behind that, you recognize the fact that the reason why trans people have a higher rates of attempted self-unalivement is strictly because of societal pressures and harassment they get from day-to-day life. That is why. The discrimination these people face is why.
Especially among that of their own parents.
It's all external. It's nothing internal.
Yeah, so we actually have studies that look at when cisgender or when transgender individuals are in families that do support their identities, the depression goes down to identical to their peers, and their anxieties are only slightly elevated above their peers. And their peers would be like cisgender individuals. So like they're not dramatically higher when they're supported. This just shows that there's a correlation between, or even a causation at this point, between, having a supportive family and, having, high rates of depression.
Yeah, it's to the point where do you know why GID was redefined? It's because it's been acknowledged to be a stress-based condition for an extremely long time now. Even GID considered it stress-based, although they didn't word it exactly that way. And that's important to know because the stressors are outside external factors. You can be trans and not have those stressors, and those stressors can be treated and go into remission, which is how we treat mental disorders, right? We can't cure them, they go into remission. So it's extremely important. It's very important to note that, yes, almost all of these stressors, all of these factors, all these comorbid conditions occur based off of external factors.
Now, there's two types of transgenders. There's the passing and the ones that have a challenge in passing.
Well, do you like sounding like an asshole?
No, so what I said is not true?
Yes.
It's not true.
There aren't two. Like, imagine if I was like, hey, there's two types of immigrant Indian people. Like that's obviously not true.
Those who
it's
pass
weird.
and those who don't. Like, that would be fucking xenophobic. Like, hugely xenophobic.
But this is a term that I didn't invent. This is a term I've heard, passing and non-passing.
Okay, yeah. Well, like, Hitler invented terms too. Like, you don't go around saying that they're good things. Like, just because people come up with ways to talk about things doesn't mean they're good or true or accurate. Like, imagine if, like, because I know you're Indian now, I just went off of stereotypes because I heard them. Like that, I
what I'm
obviously
getting
wouldn't
at.
do that.
No,
Okay,
hold
fine.
on.
Look
Just no. Wait. Before we even get into that, just for clarification, passing and non-passing is not a way of classifying transgender individuals. It's a way of describing the transgender individual's ability to blend into society, and that can vary day to day, based on contextual relevance as well. So, for example, someone can be passing in the morning and not pass at night. They could be passing wearing certain clothes and not passing if they are. Like it's very subjective and very contextual. So saying that we categorize trans people into passing and non-passing just is inherently false.
It's subjective, fine, but my point is that the cases of misgendering or assuming somebody is a man even though he identifies as a lady is obviously it's gonna be something that someone who is not really passing is gonna experience more and therefore lead to more self-unaliving. Is that not true?
It can be.
Right?
I mean, not necessarily. It depends because like someone getting misgendered isn't necessarily what registers as the stress, right? It's mostly going to be the discrimination. Yes, misgendering can be stressful generally, but as long as a person isn't mistreated and it's corrected, I mean, yeah, it depends on the person, but like you can't say that's necessarily the cause because it's just widely accepted to not be the cause.
But misgendering has become so taboo and has become so socially ostracized that in some cases in the United Kingdom I've heard that men have even or people have even gone to prison for misgendering. Or sorry, not prison. A teacher has been suspended or has been fired for misgendering students.
Oh, I believe that, but do you have a source stating that anyone's been arrested for this?
Oh, sorry, I didn't mean arrest. I meant fired and or from terminated from their employment.
Yeah,
it's it's likely under malicious intent. It's in going out of their way to actively cause harm to this individual because they don't agree with them. So it would be like rude if I was in a position of power and I like stated things about you or just refused to acknowledge who you were as an individual.
So I'm not at fault if I apparently quote unquote misgender someone that identifies as a woman but whom I believe looks like a man.
You're just a jerk if you don't acknowledge what they have to say to you regarding that. They like if I walked around and called someone like dipshit all day long and they're like, "Hey, can you please not call me that?" Or I think a really good example of this is so say you're an individual who was named Mike Jr. And you had known this individual by Mike Jr. their entire life, but their father was named Mike Sr. and they were highly abusive and really problematic towards you. So one day in college, you say, "Hey, I'm no longer going to go by Mike Jr. anymore," to address the fact that like this isn't who I am. I don't want to be my father. I don't really have a good attachment with this name. But you say, "No, I don't care. I've always known you by Mike, and this is who you appear to me as." They would just be rude to do that. And your friend, if they understood what was good, they would probably say, "Hey, I don't really like this. I think we need to, reevaluate this friendship." So it's more of a matter of respect and the intent of you saying, "No, I'm going to ignore what you would like and just say, call you Mike Jr. continuously, despite what that individual has to feel about their association with being called Mike Jr."
Yeah, so like basically there's a difference between ignorance and maliciousness.
Out of the honest misgendering, because it basically looks like a guy.
There's nothing wrong with honest misgendering. I do honest misgendering all the time. I worked in emergency psych. Sometimes I would do this, and all it took for me is just to acknowledge my wrongdoing. Even though in emergency psych, I read the paperwork, do all that, it still even happens. Like that, it's okay to make mistakes.
But
just for clarification. Oh, sorry. Just for clarification, no one has ever been fired or lost their job over honest mistakes and misgendering. In that context, it's always been exclusively because of malicious intent. And typically, if that were to happen and someone is going to be fired for that, they would do an investigation to see the cause and why they're doing this, right? And then they would make a decision from there. If it's a mistake, yeah, they're not going to fucking fire.
I'm going step by step, and I think we're getting somewhere. And I'm glad that we're getting somewhere because you guys admitted that honest misgendering happens and it's a reality. Now here's the thing. This is the nail. that I'm gonna hammer. You admit that honest misgendering happens because many of the transgenders are apparently they're not passing.
Transgender individuals. Transgenders is derogatory.
Oh my god.
That would be like saying blacks to an individual. They are black people or black individuals.
I also say blacks. I mean, I don't think black people got a problem with it.
you'd be objectively wrong because
Wrong.
black is an adjective, not a noun. In that context, and so is transgender. It's an adjective, not a noun.
Okay. Now, do you understand how cisgender women would justifiably be uncomfortable with someone that they would honestly misgender, according to you, coming into
Are you a
bath?
cisgender woman?
No, but do you understand how
I
cisgender
am.
women?
I'm a cisgender woman.
Okay,
Why
not
don't
talking about you
you-
personally. I'm talking about in general. In general, would you understand why they would feel uncomfortable and distressed
I
with
feel like
them
they
coming into someone that they would misgender ordinarily or innocently as a man coming into their private spaces?
I feel like they might be more uncomfortable with me going into their private spaces than a transgender woman.
I can see how
Yes.
any large individual that they would take to be a male as in their spaces.
See, now
But
you guys are not being honest. You guys got to be honest with me.
I'm being honest. I
I'm
said a
being honest
large
with you.
male,
Yes.
a large someone that they perceive as large as male.
Not just large, just someone that they perceive as male.
I wouldn't be if they were my size and they came in the bathroom. I could take them out. Like that's not
Come
where
on, I'm not talking about you personally.
But,
you gotta put
okay.
yourself in the general women.
I
what would
am.
they feel?
Okay, large as in larger than them. It's a relative term. Large is not a term that is objectively X size. Large is relative. Okay,
I don't
so
think
it'd
you're
be
being
larger than them. I don't care what you think. I am being honest. Like as it goes, anyone that but that's not a problem with trans individuals. That's a problem with men. Okay? Because if it were not the case that men objectively cause more violence and harm to women, then it wouldn't be that. But it is the case that trans individuals still deserve rights despite the actions of men. So it is not.
Let me repeat my question just so there's clarity, if you don't mind. Hold on. Let me repeat. My question is
I
this.
only have like 3 minutes.
Okay, hold on. I'll give you all the 3 minutes. Let's say someone that is honestly going to be misgendered because they're not passing as a transgender woman enters into a female private space, whether it's a change room or a bathroom, whatever. And do you think that generally, not individually, generally women?
We don't have female private spaces. We have gendered private spaces.
Okay, women's private spaces. Would you say that generally speaking, women would be uncomfortable with that individual coming into their space?
It depends. Okay,
it depends.
Yeah, so there's a lot of factors you have to keep in mind. One of those being that I think that it is the individual's responsibility to, if they know they're going to make a group of people uncomfortable, to avoid that situation. However, I also think it's society's responsibility, the individual in that society's responsibility, to know that if something's making them uncomfortable, to break down why that thing might make them uncomfortable and move past it, right? Because their uncomfortability shouldn't govern what other people can and can't do. That's just how we can't run society based off individualistic comfortabilities, right? That being said, there's two different types of just a lot of different types of passing, right? So you need to be specific on what type of passing you're referencing, because in my opinion, right, my personal opinion, if a trans woman passes as a trans woman, most women are going to recognize that this person is not a cis man and thus a trans woman, and would be perfectly comfortable with them in their spaces. Right, because someone passing as a trans woman, meaning they may not pass as a cis woman, they might not pass as a cisgender female, but it's very obvious that they're trans and that they identify as female, right? And in that scenario, I think it's more than acceptable for that person to go into women's spaces because they're still a woman. And most trans women pass even if they don't pass as cis woman, they pass as trans woman.
I also want to just acknowledge the massive pivot this conversation was as well. And which is fine. You can do that, I guess. But like, I don't think that we should like infringe on people's like rights to exist how they are. because individuals are uncomfortable, and this like also fails to address the fact that this also fails to address the fact that the root of the problem isn't trans individuals, it's men. So we shouldn't harm trans individuals because men can't keep their hands to themselves and disrespect women. Like that, I think that's
But
a no-brainer.
is that the only reason why men are not allowed to go into a women's washroom or change room? Or is it just even let's say even if men were totally angels and never touched women or assaulted them, still we would have separate segregation, right? In private
No,
spaces.
I don't.
We
I don't
probably
think we would.
wouldn't.
Yeah, I don't. I actually genuinely don't think we would. I think that if everyone lived in Kumbaya, right, we wouldn't need private individualistic spaces.
You
The
do
reason why-
realize.
Again, you guys are talking about your individual. I'm saying
No, I'm
talk
not talking
understand
about
from a
individual-
general
I'm
women
No,
perspective.
I'm talking about in
restrooms
general,
weren't
right?
always separated, even within the United States.
Yeah, so-
This happened when women entered the workforce, and
Yeah,
there were
sorry.
multiple reasons cited on why this was the case. There's not just one reason.
It's also important to note that like a lot of the reasons why it's even still separate right now is one, protection from cis men being fucking gross, but another one is generally men just feel gross around cis women doing their things in the bathroom, which is why I said if we all just lived in kumbaya and were happy with each other and didn't fucking judge each other, then yes, we would absolutely have no reason for segregated bathrooms by any stretch of the imagination, and I think it would be intellectually dishonest to say otherwise.
No, I think it's intellectually dishonest to say that we would have integrated bathrooms.
Okay.
That's-
If we had no reason to judge each other, right? If we didn't judge each other and we didn't care about women doing their monthly cycles in the bathroom, pads, blah blah blah. If men weren't grossed out by that, if there's no risk of harm or uncomfortability around bodily functions, what reason would there be to separate bathrooms? Give one.
First of all, you're describing a situation where humans lose their human nature. But
That's
I was
not-
talking
okay,
about.
This is the hypothetical you gave. This is the hypothetical you gave. So name one reason why in this
No,
hypothetical.
I gave the
bathrooms will be
hypothetical
separated.
where men are not, assaulting ladies.
Well, we shouldn't allow people to
That
sing
was the only
Kumbaya
hypothetical I
in
gave.
non-gendered places. Come on, guys.
You guys are talking about a situation where we're not humans anymore.
How is that a situation where we're not humans? Because I know plenty of men who are not uncomfortable around women, around bodily functions. I know tons of them, right? That's just a socialized trait, which is
I pee with the door open in a household with a man that walks by, and he does his excretions with the door open. We don't care. That's co-ed bathroom. In fact, most bathrooms that aren't in public are fucking co-ed because household bathrooms are co-ed.
a lot of public bathrooms, family bathrooms are co-ed. I've seen co-ed bathrooms; they function just fine. Like, can you give one reason why, in this scenario, the bathrooms should need to be separated? Before I go, because I actually have to go right now. Can you give one reason why they would still need to be separated in this scenario?
This is only a public
there's a sense
restroom
of
space.
modesty, and there's a sense of privacy between men and women. That's just human nature.
What did I just say? God, this guy's a fucking idiot. Have fun with him. I gotta go back to work.
And by the way, we do have stalls. So that modesty problem, stalls. They correct that one.
There's another factor which you guys are totally ignoring, which is, I mean, it seems to me you're mostly from a Western cultural perspective, but you understand that most of the world, it would be outraged by what you guys are proposing. But you don't consider other people's cultures.
Actually, because from what I know, again, I have a hard time learning certain things, but I mainly know history. You do know that in let's say Greek, a woman would take up a man's role and then would be seen as a man due to the role that they have been taken up, and that was back in Greece. So this isn't actually a preposterous idea of someone taking up the role or going to or transitioning. They have even found proof of people of the males taking up the female role, taking up the role of being a wife, of being a woman in ancient Egypt. So this isn't a preposterous idea of other cultures taking part in this.
I would also care less about like other cultures if their ideas are based off of like internalized misogyny, or they just saw um like people as being inherently unequal in some sense. Um, I think there's a lot to like. I have morals built off of the ideas of freedom and well being, and so like if a culture is going against an individual's freedom or well being, I simply just care less about what that culture's ideals are when their ideals are going to be pushing like that they prevent freedom and well being to individuals.
Yeah, like
No, but
it's fine to be against cultures. There's an aspect of female genital mutilation. I absolutely do not care that that's of a different culture. It's not okay to do, and I have reasons for that because, like Stotsky said, I care about well being and like not harming an individual. Um, the aspect is that when we were arguing about other cultures, it was about the fact that you made the claim that it's just never been that way, and we're citing examples against that. It's not that we have to respect all cultures and say, well, they do this thing that's objectively harmful, therefore it's another culture and we should just accept it. That is not how our worldview exist as. Like that's I don't know why you're not getting that.
see, what is it? There's like 8 or 9 billion people in the world, so there are a huge percentage of people from Middle Eastern culture, from my Indian culture, me personally, from African culture.
Okay,
They would.
congratulations. There's a lot of
You're saying
harmful
that. Okay, you're
things. There's
saying.
a
Oh,
lot of harmful things in our culture. There's a lot of harmful
right.
things in the
Okay,
culture that you also don't
but you're
acknowledge.
saying that
So
okay,
don't.
all of those billions of people, their culture is not right, and for the sake of maybe 0.1% of the population, we're gonna basically offend them.
What I would
All these
say
Middle Eastern and African and Indian and all those people who would
If
be
it's
outraged by it.
harmful, I don't care if it's offensive to them. If it harms individuals, it's not okay.
And
I don't know
it's
what's so hard about that.
it's not like we're saying the whole culture is wrong either. Like it's just this like a particular aspect that's causing harm that is wrong. Like you can have your own religious beliefs and cultural beliefs about things as long as they're not harming individuals. I don't care. You do you. I simply do not care.
Do you think, Abdul? Do you think that female genital mutilation is okay to do if it's a part of a culture?
So it's not part of my culture, but if it's part of, I wouldn't call it mutilation. I mean, I know in some African cultures they do female circumcision. I don't got a problem with it.
Ow.
Oh
It's not
Ow.
my culture. It's their culture. I mean, they have a right if that's their
Ow.
culture.
Ow. 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 If you know anything about how that is done, ow.
You
Holy
think
shit.
that that's okay to do? Yeah, I Stotsky, I
Ow.
warned you. I did warn you.
I mean, like in my
What
culture,
the
we do
fuck?
male circumcision, and some people object to that, but that's our culture.
Yeah, it's
And in
still
their
Even how
culture, they
genital
do.
female is
mutilation.
done?
Yeah, like there's at least some possible, even though probably not true, like benefits of male circumcision. It's entirely different than female circumcision. It's entirely different.
Oh,
Look, I don't agree with female circumcision, but if it's their culture, I mean, that's their culture. They've been doing it for
Do you
thousands
know
of
how
years. Who
it's
am I to
done?
say no?
Do you know how that's done?
I don't know how it's done. I don't think I
I
want
would
to know
I
either.
would suggest
Yeah.
at your own risk, because oh my fucking god, you should look. You don't have to, but if you want to know, look it up. I will warn you, it is not the best thing to learn about.
Yeah, Abdul, you don't actually care that people are harmed. All you care about is proving like your point. And I think that makes you a shitty person.
See, I'm not going to say the same thing to you, but I think the fact that you want to disregard.
Well, it doesn't
I mean,
apply to
I
us,
mean,
so you can't say the same
you would
thing.
probably know Middle
Yeah,
Eastern women
I
who are very
I
conservative, and you're saying,
I
that
I
they have to just
literally
accept it.
so my the person I live with is fucking Palestinian. Okay? I'm very familiar with Middle Eastern culture. Thank
Then you should
you.
know like how conservative the culture is, especially the women that, who are in the burqas and all that. And you're saying, okay, they gotta
When
go.
they choose to be in burqa, it is their choice. As long as they don't inflict what their personal beliefs are on other people, that is fine. But it doesn't mean they have the right to dictate anyone else for anyone else.
Okay, let's say there's four ladies, they're out together, they're Middle Eastern, they're in their burqas and all that. They go to the public bathroom, and then somebody that's not passing as a
Then
transgender,
don't go to the public bathroom.
is
If
that
they
what you're gonna
don't
tell them?
like,
Is that honestly what you're
if
gonna
it's
tell
a
them?
public, yes, that's exactly what I would tell them. If they don't like it, go somewhere else because it is a public bathroom. It is for all individuals to be who they are and express themselves as they are.
And here's the
Does your
crazy thing
Palestinian
too.
partner agree with that?
Yes, he is a psychiatric nurse who works with trans individuals and affirms who they are every fucking day.
Here's the crazy part too, is that like if you just ask, hey, I don't, my religion, or if you have like a religious belief to say, hey, can I just have you stay out of the bathroom while I do this real quick? I'm sure a lot of people would be like, okay, that's fine. Like if you just have a saying, hey, I have this religious belief, and you just go up to them and ask them, I see no problem with that. Like if somebody asks me to
No,
leave
but
the
that's not how
bathroom,
the scenario works. So like, you got to be practical. This is what happens. Right? Is let's say you're at a restaurant, right? And then the ladies are out together having a dinner or whatever, and they're all women and they're all friends and they're all Middle Eastern, let's say, and they're quite conservative. And then they go to the bathroom, and then suddenly a transgender guy or woman who is not really passing, who would be misgendered otherwise, enters. They're gonna be screaming. They're not going to be saying, "Oh, this is my religion. Could you please?" No, they're going to be screaming. They're going to be, "What the hell?" They're going to call the police. So this is
And
this is what's going to
they're
happen
in America?
in America and Canada,
Okay,
wherever.
You can't call the police.
Then yeah, there's no reason for them to call the police. They are in the wrong for calling the police.
There's no law that says it's a public bathroom. Even women go in the men's bathroom at the stall. If the women's bathroom's out of order, there's no law that says you can't actually use the women's bathroom if you're male. Because what if the male stall is male's bathroom's out of order? You have no choice. So yeah, calling the police would do nothing. Considering for one, there's no law against it, and for two, he didn't do, or she, sorry, because she's a transgender woman. She didn't do anything to the people. She just walked into the restroom. So that would be what is it called when you call the police for nothing?
I don't think that this wouldn't be a case of like any sort of malicious intent of calling the police or like it would just there'd be no reason for anyone to. They might even send an officer out because like they might think it's an emergency, but like there's no law being broken. There's nothing like being violated here. We have religious beliefs from many different cultures in the United States. And in some places they clash, right? And if it is in a public restroom, then the fact is that transgender individuals have just as much of a right to that space as someone with a religious belief.
See, I think for cultural cohesion, we have to find solutions that work for everybody. Because you probably have observed that the demographics are changing. Many more people from other parts of the world are coming to the West, to the Anglosphere, and if we don't find solutions to these type of issues, then we're gonna have problems in the future. Don't you think so?
The solution is that it's a public restroom, and that if you cannot handle the aspect of having different cultures in your restroom, and you're the one that is causing the issue, then you can remove yourself. If you can't understand that other individuals live differently than you're the one that needs to make the aspect of that, because it's a place for everyone to go. It is a bodily function.
And most of the West rules is secular, in terms of how they run their government. So you're kind of conceding that you're going to live underneath secular rule, if you want to go to a secular, if you apply for, even if you're going
But I don't
for.
see how it's a conflict with secularism to have segregated bathrooms. The way it's always been, like the West has always been pretty much
Trans
secular.
women are women. They go in the women's restroom.
Yes,
they always have.
We're not gonna let under general secularist ideas. We don't let religions dictate or cultures dictate what we do. This is just part of secularism. It's based off of things such as like logic and science and game theory and other sorts of things that are
No, but secularism doesn't automatically dismiss norms of society and cultural norm. Yes, religion is different, but in terms of cultural norm,
secularism automatically dismisses norms of society because it's based off of it's based on of harm and humanism. Like, by definition, that dismisses parts of norms in society because some norms of society are harmful. I don't know what your argument is.
So the United States has been secular since its establishment.
It doesn't
and this
always
thing has only come up recently.
So it's itself as like, I don't know what the recency bias here would mean anything to, like it doesn't always act purely secular as in secular humanism aspects, but it doesn't mean necessarily that it's going to kowtow to any sort of religion. In fact, if anything, like we've kowtowed to Christianity, it doesn't mean that like that's how we always operate. But the fact is that secularism itself is not going to adhere to any sort of religion. It's going to adhere to equality, logic, science, things that Stosu just said. It's not going to, it's going to look at equality. And the fact is that everyone has a right to access that space, no matter what type of person you are, whether you're a trans individual, whether you're a religious individual. Now, if you have an issue with using the bathroom because of your religious identity, it doesn't mean that you have a right to exclude others from that space. That's the problem here, is that you're talking about exclusion because of someone's religious identity, and that's never been the case in the United States.
I don't know if this was purely a theoretical issue. That's different, but this has a big potential.
So you want to
cause
exclude
conflict.
people? Okay, yeah, a lot of things cause conflict. It's specifically religion. It doesn't mean that we have to say that the religion one wins out and that some people can't use public restrooms because, I don't know, their God says so.
No, it's not really about God. It's about like the public, like norms, social norms.
Social norms are what? That religious people went out? Because that's what you were talking about.
Not about only religious people. I think even in America, this is a very big controversy. Right? It's not a controversy in most of the rest of the world because it's not really an issue.
So now you're changing it.
It wasn't. It hasn't been for decades.
I said social norms, right?
It's only because of a small group of individuals who are pushing back about the normalization of trans people because of like religious beliefs and like outdated views. It's because we have scientific adaptation of saying, hey, this is actually all right. This is what this is something that we should actually support, and we should help people, and we should actually actively work against those who have historically been, like, this is something that should be like a protected attribute, not something that we should allow individuals to be bigoted over and deny individuals, equal representation because of.
Can we not just like not let redheads in the bathroom because people are uncomfortable with it?
What would you say if a cisgender man just walked into?
Okay, I didn't get a question. I didn't get an answer. Can we deny redheads from going to the restroom?
No.
Okay, so why can we deny trans individuals from the restroom? They're just as much of a, if it was a social norm to block a redhead from the bathroom because of a social norm, like that's obviously absurd.
That's why I asked you, can we deny cisgender men from entering the women's bathroom?
Yes, because they're genderly they're at this current point they're segregated by
so
gender.
We know that washroom has to do with not with the color of your hair, but with the gender, right? It doesn't matter. Your color of your hair is irrelevant.
So trans
to the
women are
machine.
women. Like, that is their gender. I'm talking about the fact that you're saying that a normative view can dictate what a minority population is allowed to, who they are allowed to exclude from spaces. They have their own space.
I get your position. Here's what I'm trying to ask, though. I'm trying to ask that you said that a cisgender man is not allowed in the women's bathroom. Now, if a cisgender man breaks that law and enters
That's not a law.
the bathroom, I think it is a law. If he enters the female bathroom, the women's bathroom, then people are gonna call the police naturally. So now the only distinction you're saying is that if he has on paper that he's actually a woman, but he's basically physically looks like a man, then that's the only reason that will justify.
No, you already said that they weren't of that gender.
I've said that we agreed that women can be misgendered, right? Transgender women can be misgendered. It's naturally that happens. So
Yeah.
the only difference between a cisgender man entering the the women's bathroom and a transgender woman that is not passing entering is that one has on paper that it's a woman and the other doesn't. But how are the people in the bathroom supposed to know the difference? They don't. They're not going to check the paper first. So this is obviously going to cause a conflict. This is going to cause a crisis.
I agree that sometimes
Right.
it might be difficult, but it doesn't mean we get to exclude people because of that. Which you're arguing we can exclude people because it might be difficult, which I think is absurd.
Somebody keeps inviting me to turn on my camera. I turned it on so many times. Why do you guys want to keep it?
Just
Oh my
ignore them.
gosh, solid.
It's just Salt Snake Kitty. She doesn't solve the time.
Just she does do this all the time. Just ignore her. No offense, solid.
Yeah, honestly, too. Like, if someone who was an individual, who like looked 100% like a male and looked like they identify as a man, and they walked into the bathroom behind me, I don't think I would like freak out. I would probably just walk out and then wait for them to finish. Because that would
But do you
be
agree
the
that your
reasonable
reaction
response.
is not going to be the reaction of the general women folk? That's your personal reaction because you have a particular ideology. But we're talking about women in general.
Okay, so because let me get you. Your argument is this: because some people might be uncomfortable, we should exclude people from spaces.
I want to say some people. I'd say generally people would be uncomfortable. So
Why
yes,
should
we
we
should
let the
exclude
majority
them.
dictate what happens? Like, if
But that's what a democracy is. Majority rules.
well,
We're not a we're not a complete democracy, by the way. We are a representative democracy. We don't just let majority rule.
A lot of states used to say that, oh, we can have slavery because, a majority allowed it. I would hold that that's still wrong no matter what they said. It was wrong then, it's wrong now. People can have the majority can hold wrong views a lot of the time.
But that cuts both ways. We can't have a minority dictate either.
I'm not letting a minority. I'm using logic.
We're not going to have an argument on this. We're talking not about what makes people feel good or bad. We're talking about what is right and what is wrong here. I don't really give a crap what the rest of the society thinks about this. The fact is that your argument is as such that we should exclude people because a lot of people think that we should. Therefore, you would be fine with segregation of Black individuals in the public school system because that was once a majority view. That's your reasoning. I mean, that's your reductio ad absurdum.
Damn.
I gotta go.
Break it down, board.
I'll see you later. Bye.
Bye.
Okay.
That was interesting.
Crazy.
Fucking hell, Ashley. Holy shit. Damn.
I mean, to be fair, yesterday I won a debate with one sentence because someone was saying like trans women weren't women because they weren't born women, and I went, no one's born a man or woman because that would indicate they're an adult. The dude shut up, sat on panel for 15 minutes, not saying anything, and then just left.
Everybody, just a reminder to follow Ashlyn and the other panelists because they're all awesome. So
I have to follow. I think I follow her on my main account. I followed her on this alt account, but I have to make sure I follow you on my main account. That is currently bananaed right now.
I'm sorry, your account was bananaed.
Yeah, my legs are apparently too risky for people.
And that was Abdul being, by the way, tame. Like very tame.
Does he bite the Aisha bullet?
Maybe
With
Okay,
Aisha.
so we used to have really, yeah, kind of, really long conversations with that individual. So maybe that tamed them. I don't know how they don't remember. Probably I've changed my profile picture, but like, Godless Reggie had was it? No. Maybe it wasn't Godless Reggie. Maybe it was. It might have been someone else actually that had this conversation. I might have been wrong on that account, but I know I've spoken with this individual. That's how I know that they were like Canadian and stuff. And but they did lie. They said they were Pakistani last time. What did I?
Hello, doggy. How you doing, Heaney? I have dog.
And by the way, I kept inviting him to turn his camera on because he kept turning it on and off sporadically and randomly. So I just decided to start doing it to see if he'd continue, and he did.
I gotta go, man. Just the food, please fucking fold.
That's the second time and during a conversation, and like yesterday that happened on Dalton and I's live where we were like we were speaking to another individual. They're like, yeah, I don't think I have anything. I've got to go by.
Speaking of going,
I've got to go by.
Yeah, I gotta go here soon too, in like within the next few minutes, because doggy wants to go outside. So
yeah, I have to go to prepare.
And I've been live for like 3 hours, which is pretty good. So
no, you've not. You've only been live for 3 minutes.
3 hours. Hi, Cole. Welcome back.
No! Solid ran at the perfect, most awful time ever. Okay, I just wanted them to go respectfully. I'm yelling great things at you. Go check the Discord. Ah! I love you, Solid. You're gorgeous. Okay, that's all.
What the fuck's happening in the Discord?
The Discord.
I gotta go check the Discord now. Hold on.
I used her own words against her. She's outvoted.
Voted? Okay, hold on. What the fuck is happening in this goddamn Discord?
No, not
My Discord's not loading.
Of course it's not.
iPad,
look,
I hate
there's
you.
another like. There's another one. I
voted.
bet you she's still listening. There's another one.
I'm coming. That's not the server. Hit the server. Thank you.
As soon as Palm gets there, there will be another react.
All right, I am going to look. Where to this?
You have to look at the previous stuff that I put in there. Yeah, see? We even got a double react. We love it. A pretty pink flower. I got her.
I don't think I'm in this Discord server, am I?
Oh, we got a Stoke. Can you send a invite to Salvage for the server? Okay. Then you can just upload it even more.
Never. Where is?
I can't spell.
I just joined because joy. There's a good thing happening in Discord right there.
I sent you a DM with it. So you just need to check your DMs.
I'll leave because I know my echo's bad right now because my earbud died.
Oh well, I'm gonna end it anyways. So.
And anyways, yeah. So,
Yay, they made it. Okay.
For having me.
Yeah, thanks for coming, Ashlyn. Thanks everybody. Bye.
Bye, friends.
Bye, everyone.
Bye. Do we have anybody on? Oh, okay, and then to the anybody on Twitch, the TikTok or not TikTok, Twitch or YouTube. Bye bye.